Alright, we got 2 hours of this, so grab your snacks. Let's get into it. Part 2. Watching the rest of this too. King Von raps for serial killer. Von's transition from killer to rapper.
Debut, killings would still continue to play out in the streets, with Von appearing to remain plugged into the action, not only giving Von and his gang even more credit in the streets, but with these murders also providing Von with the inspiration to get back into the booth, where he would continue to record music all about the deadly violence that he would soon become famous for. While King Von was in jail, numerous people from O Block ended up getting killed. Perhaps it was precisely because their most fearless shooter was in jail that so many people ended up passing while he was gone. Von was particularly hurt by the killing of T-Roy, his right-hand man, and after T-Roy was killed, a new set of gangsters would form in O Block who went by the name Get Back Gang. This was a hardened crew of shooters whose sole focus was to get revenge or get back for the murder of T-Roy and other beloved O Block natives who had been killed while Von was in jail. Another one of these fallen O Block affiliates was Chino, who was shot dead on the 17th of July 2016. Another, Big A, was gunned down in a restaurant near O Block on the 4th of December 2016. Get Back Gang would be on a killing spree trying to avenge their fallen friends, looking to kill anyone who played a role in their demise. Poppy, believed to have been involved in hits against O Block, would be gunned down at work on the 16th of June 2017, allegedly being shot in the head by an O Block member called Heck, who would go on to be known by the nickname HK or Headshot King. HK was T-Roy's brother and would reportedly avenge him, with T-Roy's alleged killer TB or Terry Barry being shot dead on the 26th of December 2017. However, HK himself would end up being killed in O Block 2 just before Von got out of jail on the 24th of November 2017. Another person who seemingly lost their life to Get Back Gang's revenge campaign during this time would be FBG Brick, FBG Duck's brother, rumoured to have played a role in giving up T-Roy's location to the ops the day he was killed, with Brick and his friend Kobe being gunned down in a Get Back Gang attack on the 17th of July 2017. In fact, many of these murders played out in 2017 whilst Von was still behind bars for the murder of Malcolm Stuckey. And when Von got out, despite becoming a rapper, spending time in Atlanta with Lil Durk, and seemingly taking a step away from the gang war, Von would still seem to be looked at as a senior figure and shot caller to members of O Block and Get Back Gang. And when they killed again, King Von would be on the sidelines celebrating the murder as if it was one of his own. On June the 13th, 2018, King Von would tweet saying that there's a new rule. You can only diss or smoke a dead person that you yourself actually killed. Only days after that tweet, Get Back Gang would unfortunately claim another life. The next unlucky person to be killed would be a St. Lawrence native by the name of Can't Get Right, aka Man Man, real name DeAndre Wallace. On June the 15th, 2018, around 9:50 PM, Can't Get Right is waiting for food outside of a store on 400 block of East 63rd Street. At a certain point, 2 people pulled up and waited outside, and when the target was spotted, those 2 men ran up, opening fire, killing both the target as well as an innocent bystander that was just there sweeping up outside the restaurant. And once again, the shooting and immediate aftermath were captured on CCTV footage and by witnesses in clips that are far too grisly to show you on YouTube. Both men shot in the incident were pronounced dead at the University of Chicago Hospital, with the news even later reporting on this assassination.
Morning are looking for the gunman who killed 2 men overnight. They were standing outside of a store in the city's Woodlawn neighborhood when someone started shooting. A 43-year-old man was shot in the chest. He died at the hospital. The other victim, a 22-year-old, also died. Police say the 22-year-old is a known gang member and was the intended target.
King Von would go live on the same day as this double murder alongside Memo 600 while still in Atlanta with Lil Durk's team. And in this live, King Von would set out to poke fun at his murdered rivals immediately after they were killed. And let's not forget, only days before this, King Von tweeted that you can't disrespect the dead unless you played a role in killing them. With that in mind, King Von's livestream after the murder was truly a masterclass in self-incrimination. They would start the live off lighting a blunt and saying that their smoking can't get right and asking the viewers what just happened.
There you go. Can't get right. There you go. There you go. Cause I can't get right.
Alright, now, everybody, not at one time. What just happened? What just happened?
A lot of glizzies and F's.
You right there with your hand up. You tell me what happened. Who got killed? That's what I'm asking y'all. Who got killed, gang?
Yeah.
Can't get right, got killed.
Merge. Can't get right.
Hey, somebody show me a picture. I don't think I know y'all talking about. Is this can't get...
Is that can't get right? Hold on, is this him? Is this
or
can't get right?
This ain't called snitching. I'm just trying to get verified. You get verification.
From here, people start commenting, can't get up. And it seems that the O Block hitters are so amused by this wordplay they essentially confessed to being involved in the murder on the spot.
They tell us can't get up. Oh
They always make some shit before we do it. They beat us to it every time.
y'all should start killing people.
Oh, me.
Cause y'all be doing this. You doing the man.
Oh, Steve, this ain't crazy.
After this, we see the crew say that it's 2 people down and that they're going to have to roll another one, whoever it is, seemingly unaware that it was an innocent cleaner who was killed in the incident.
They said 2 down.
Damn. 2 men that nah, I can't take
On David, they said it on both our lives.
I can barely take
David. 2 pieces? I can take one. Somebody roll another one.
Can't
Whoever else got hit.
They even started reacting mockingly to the ops posting long tributes to their fallen friend on Instagram in real time in this live.
See that paragraph under that picture, you know it's over.
Damn, best friend, you just told me to pop out.
I remember back in the days when doo-doo-doo-doo.
You just told me to pop out, best friend. Why the f you do me like this? You bogus as hell. They ain't try to.
They
Shut
gonna
up.
be different as you. You better not get caught like that.
From here, Von and his friends would continue mocking the ops by specific block and saying that the FN gave him a fresh fade like Lil Boosie.
Steady taking loss. STL. Steady taking loss. Motherfucker gave him a fresh fade. Boosie Boost.
They fuck with folks up.
Hey, why did they even put him on Front Street like he was even like that though?
Then, King Von comes back and says straight up that Man must have known he was going to die and that no one will care he's gone.
He probably knew he was gonna die.
BD.
I wish I could talk to him. Don't nobody even care about Can't Get Right like that. I don't think they gonna slide like that. I don't think nothing finna happen because of that. So
They finna waste the rest of their money on that.
we ain't even gonna act like nothing finna happen. Just y'all go in the house. Whoever ain't get shot, you lucky today. I'm finna go in the house. It's over.
After this, they even started reliving the hit, saying that their ops aren't used to somebody jumping out of the car and firing at them non-stop.
You ain't used to somebody just popping out a cut for real.
Looking at your ass.
Really on your ass. You just get the flap past your you just want to do like one of these because you acting like you fake tough. But get the hitting you, damn, this shit, I can't move.
Crump getting that there little before they got you too.
Whilst King Von is on live bragging about this hit from another city, O-Block members Moowop posted a picture on Instagram with fellow member Duke saying that they are shooters. Meanwhile, E-Dog from O-Block jumped on Twitter to say that the get back is not over. Just the day after the murder, King Von tweeted saying that the stakes are higher now than ever and that the police have their eye on him. Von later tweeted claiming that his brothers made the new op pack, literally giving direct responsibility for this murder to his team.
The fuck? Nah, the self-incrimination is crazy. Shout out that new op pack, my brothers made it.
It seems clear at this point that Von was not only happy about the killing that his friends from O-Block were doing, but he was actively encouraging it, and quite possibly the one giving the orders. Friends of Man would post outright saying that they believed King Von paid for the hit.
Doing all that, tap him up and see if he can get up and all that goof ass. You know what I'm talking about too.
Whoa. Do you guys feel that it was somebody from the other side that may have did it, or do you think it was like a random act of violence in the city of Chicago?
Random act.
You know who did it, man. All these in the city did it, man.
Okay.
That hate us. But they ain't gonna step outside them gates though.
This not snitching? Man, I don't know who did it. Probably random, I don't know. What the fuck? Better come out them gates though?
But they know.
Nah, I don't know who this is.
King Von. We gonna say his name. King Von.
But Von
Nah, whose man is this?
But they ain't gonna step outside them gates though. But they know. King Von. We gonna say his name. King Von.
But Von honestly didn't seem to care about anything at this point. And despite the fact that word was spreading that he was the shot caller in Get That Gang's murders, Von wasn't trying to keep this a secret. In fact, he was ready to broadcast that message to millions of people. Because on July the 31st, 2018, Lil Durk's Only the Family Involved Volume 1 compilation album releases. The project featured many of Lil Durk's friends, including King Von, whose new song Problems would be included on the project, with this entire track being all about Von having hitters that catch bodies for him, even warning people, do not get bodied by me. The song essentially tells the story of O-Block shooters killing people on Von's command. The song also featured an intro where he shouted out Get Back Gang, and there were lyrics about killing both the target and witnesses. Von would rap that killing is his hobby, and he says that his loyal shooters are the ones catching bodies for him. Von would also tease a music video for this track, which ended up dropping on Lil Durk's official YouTube channel on August the 9th, King Von's 24th birthday. Meanwhile, Lil Durk was impressed with King Von's murder raps. tweeting that Von was next up to break into the rap game. And this would be followed by Von telling fans that he would soon be dropping music with Lil Durk himself, and saying that he would be switching up and not associating with anyone he used to know.
Once this song with Durk drop, I'm acting like I don't know none of y'all. I'm acting for money. I'm changing up.
Durk was clearly seeing the potential in King Von's music, and from here, the two of them would be seen together on social media, having a good time and getting the fans more and more familiar with Durk's newest prospect.
Yeah, what the thing you talking about bodies and like that. Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy. Come on, man. Get your cat dog looking ass on. Get your rat looking ass, big mouse looking ass on phone. Mickey Mouse. Damn.
Von was beginning to lay the foundations for a successful rap career, but he also continued to be reckless. Around this time, Von is seen in a viral Instagram live clip telling a small child on O Block to disrespect Tuka and training him to shoot people in the head with a water pistol.
Shoot him in his head. Shoot him in his head. You got a point right here. Boom. Say it. Gotta shoot him in his head. Shoot him.
Shoot him!
Say Tuka. Tuka. You shot Tuka? Say Tuka, man. Shoot him again. Shoot him in his head.
After this, Von would tweet about having killers around him and posting pictures of his whole crew. And as Von's popularity grew, people would eventually annotate these pictures, speculating on how many people each O Block member had killed.
What the fuck? BJ 1 to 2, E-Dog 2 to 3, Cap fuck 12 3 times, Moowop 2 to 3, King Von 7, Duke 4 to 5, DQ 3. I actually feel with DQ music. Damn. Damn. Everybody got arrows. These motherfuckers got 20 bodies collectively. That is crazy.
Naturally,
allegedly,
all of this reckless behaviour on social media brought even more police attention onto O Block. By the end of August 2018, the block is hot, and King Von is seen on live observing arrests taking place on O Block itself, even saying that he has his shoes tied in case he needs to run.
And I got my shoes tied. I'm getting out of there. They trying to find the secret recipe to the Krabby Patty secret plankton. They trying to find the secret formula to the Krabby Patty recipe. Damn, they took the truck. No, they ain't take the truck, man.
Bro, I know this video took for fucking ever to make, bro. Finding these IG lives, watching them all the way through, cutting them out for 20-second little things like this. Yo, this shit took forever to make. I understand why you want to make money off this shit. Damn, 1.5 off a re-upload? Damn. Yeah, plus the editing and the recording. Like, I know he's stuttering. He not saying everything perfectly the first time. Yeah,
Traffic man skirt. We gonna get another We Rich.
That don't roll, man.
Y'all can have that one. That's the one we on your light. They're trying to see what we on. Talking about what's going on. Somebody gangbanging with us, BDK.
Von would tweet about not wanting to discuss murders on camera.
He said somebody gangbanging with us, BDK.
Von would tweet about not wanting to discuss murders on camera and suggesting that at this point the gang war must be over. But as we'd later find out, the war would be far from over. While King Von was making a name for himself as a rapper, still commanding his shooters from O Block, he would continue to be associated with serious crimes from a distance, with the next incident involving one of his longest running enemies and a feared op of O Block's, Wooski.
Oh man. Oh man.
King Von had started out October 2018 strong, fresh off the back of his song and music video Problems, where he appeared to celebrate his gang murdering O Block rival Can't Get Right. Von would continue pushing his career forward, dropping a full music video for his first song, Beat That Body with THF Bezu, which featured an intro where they both walked out of jail together. Outside of the music, Von was also beginning to notice the many videos being made about him and his past, even resharing a YouTube video breaking down his Twitter beef with FBG Duck, seemingly unhappy. Clearly Von was monitoring his reputation on social media and cultivating his brand as the toughest rapper out, doing all of this whilst real violent crimes would continue to play out on the streets of Chicago where he was from. Just before 4 PM on October the 9th, 2018, Chicago rapper Dusky the Man, real name Ventrease Chris, would be shot in the head on the 5600 block of South Michigan Avenue, apparently the result of a drive-by carried out by a passing brown vehicle. The evening before the murder took place, Von would tweet that there's a dark cloud over Chicago. King Von would go on live a few days later with Lil Durk, saying that he's smoking Dooski, KI, Tuka, and P5.
A lot of Tuka men in the ass like that.
Gang.
A lot of fat heads of Dooski in the air. A lot of KI in the L.
E-Dog in them.
A lot of P5 in the air. Dyke bitch big in the air. Okay, he got his foot up.
Know what's going on,
Put
man.
your foot down.
Hey, niggas know.
Oh,
Hey, ain't shit changed, man.
you a gangster. Only gangsters eat that.
You a P what you on?
You look nice. You looking real like you
You
stand
like a
up.
PG like us, a player gangster.
Damn, shine the little man.
Violence was continuing to play out in the streets, and Von was loving it, because he would continue taking the details of killings his crew were allegedly involved in and placing them into musical gangbanging anthems. Just after a week after the Dooski shooting on October the 18th, he dropped a new song called War With Us, notable for lyrics that appear to take credit for the murder of female driller KI, as well as lines dissing Tuka, and Von ending the song literally saying that he is a hitman. Von was dangerous, but now he was beginning to make it as a rapper, he wanted the whole world to know just how dangerous he really was. And one of the biggest enemies he wanted to get even with is a Tukaville GD by the name of Wooski. Von and Wooski had been going back and forth all the way back to 2012, when Von was catching bodies in Chicago. Von and Wooski had an infamous exchange on Twitter after trying to catch each other lacking at the local convenience store. Von would tweet at Wooski, bragging about people Wooski knew who Von or his friends had killed, something that Wooski would do back to Von in response. In one shocking back and forth in 2012, Von even bragged to Wooski that he had more bodies and attempts than him, with the two arguing about who would end up getting killed first. Not only did Von and Wooski's feud in the streets run deep all the way back before 2012, but now that Von was trying to make it as a rapper, he would be contending with the likes of Wooski picking up a microphone too, with Wooski having dropped the very disrespectful song Computers at the start of 2018, a track that featured numerous lyrics insulting dead O-Block affiliates like Big A, J Money, White, Chino, and OD Perry. Wooski even ended the song saying that they're on the hunt for the killers of Poppy and TB, two of the prominent murders seemingly committed by O-Block's Get Back gang. So, the beef between Von and Wooski was incredibly personal, and Wooski was also very close with the recently deceased Dooski, with them having made the song Shooters together. Just a few days after Dooski was killed, King Von and others from O-Block would FaceTime Wooski, telling him that they were going to catch him by surprise.
This your big brother, yeah, you know the going on. That's your big brother, you know. I wish I could say one of y'all was my boys. We got all goofies over there. I
ain't tell you what to do it tonight on
What's y'all off the courage? What made y'all do it tonight? Listen, we gon' surprise. You talking about tonight. We gon' surprise, bro. Man, some bitches out for the free. But you talking about tonight.
So, from here, it seems like Wooski's ops hatched up a plot to shoot up Dooski's funeral because they knew that he would be there. On the afternoon of the 22nd of October, at Dooski's funeral, soon after this picture is taken, a car turns up. People jump out of that car and begin shooting into the crowd outside the church, firing indiscriminately, but looking specifically to kill Wooski. 6 people were hit in this shooting, with Wooski himself being shot in the head, but he would miraculously survive. Only a few days after the shooting, Von would begin tweeting, I kid you not, comparing himself to Jesus, and then tweeting, laugh now, cry later, and game over, we won, with fellow O-Block shooter Muwop retweeting and agreeing with this. Over the next few years, Von would go on to drop numerous disrespectful lyrics referencing the shooting of Wooski, like on the track Grandson for President, where he raps that Wooski got shot in his head and now has to take medicine for his injuries. Von would rap on the song GTA, Who Shot Wooski? How Would I Know? Von also rapped on the track Go and Get 'Em that he will be at your funeral on time to give your mother a tissue. And then there's the lyrics on his track Back Again, where he literally says that he slides at funerals, shoots everyone outside, and that Wooski is going to feel this one. Going on to say, I bet Wooski's still twitching, he changed, something different. Those are some of the most disrespectful lyrics I have ever come across, but it's also incredibly self-incriminating. It's honestly insane that Von was getting away with stuff like this, but it really was this kind of raw and real content that attracted so many people to his music, whether or not they even knew what he was talking about. From here, Von would continue to mock Wooski throughout his career, posting disrespectful pictures to him on Instagram on a regular basis. But ultimately, despite being literally shot in the head, Wooski is still alive today in 2023 and still posting on Instagram. In fact, Wooski would indeed outlive King Von, just like he had promised him on Twitter in 2012, the day before Boss Trell died. But for the time being, Wooski would take a step back from the beef with Von and O-Block, and a newly charged King Von would go all in on his rap career, continuing to roll with Lil Durk and going on to record song after song about living the lifestyle of a shot-calling killer. But unfortunately for Lil Durk, rolling with this loose cannon would soon be causing him problems too, and it would only be a matter of months after the funeral shooting that Lil Durk would find himself in a car with a trigger-happy King Von, perhaps succumbing to peer pressure and picking up a gun of his own, with Lil Durk making a split-second decision that would nearly cost him his career and freedom.
Von and Durk slide
The month after the shooting at Dooskie's funeral, which critically injured Wooski, King Von seemed to be worried about his reputation, tweeting that the past is always coming back to haunt him, and saying that he's not a murderer, not a rapper, not a scammer, just handsome. But also tweeting that if you play with him on the internet, he's going to your house. Perhaps behind the scenes, Von was beginning to struggle to manage his reputation. Now he was becoming a legitimate rapper in the music industry, he might have been worried about his past as a killer getting in the way of his new plans. Von said that he was having nightmares during this time, and that he was popping pills to cope. There'd be a few interesting exchanges around this time too, like a Twitter conversation between Von and his baby mama, where Von joked that he would put her on the news, and then backtracking, having to deny being a killer. At this point, Von was clearly concerned about his reputation, and was on edge to even joke about being a killer. But one person who wasn't worried about Von's reputation was Lil Durk, who was doing everything he could to put King Von on during this time. In mid-November 2018, Lil Durk previews King Von's upcoming song, Crazy Story, on his Instagram. Fans knew that something huge was coming. Lil Durk was taking Von to parties to rub shoulders with other huge rappers in the industry, like Lion W. Melly and Roddy.
You got Track, that's King Von's manager, Melly, Portland, Durk, Roddy Rich. Damn, that's a legendary photo right here.
Rich, even taking an enthusiastic King Von to the studio to hang out with Gunna.
Hey, Durk, yo, Gunna, Shalom. Okay, took him, man.
Durk would even bring King Von along to his interviews, with Lil Durk's November 2018 visit to the Breakfast Club being one of the first times that the mainstream music-listening public got a glimpse of King Von. And this would end up being a legendary appearance. Clearly doing all he could to put the spotlight on his friend and artist, Durk had brought Von onto one of the most famous rap interview shows in the world.
What's your artist name, bro? King Von. What's up, sir?
What's up, John?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Durk would tell Charlemagne that he wanted to sign Von because of the backstory behind him, with Charlemagne not being quite prepared for the realness when Von started talking about beating his murder charge.
What made you want to sign King Von?
Cause he got a whole story behind him.
What's the story? What's your story?
My story, I just got out of jail for just beat a body in 2 attempts. Like,
so you was in jail for 2 murders?
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
What you mean, I
mean, you didn't do it, clearly.
Like, you know, jury, yeah, look, you know.
In the interview, you could visibly see Lil Durk trying to look out for Von, and covering his tracks after Charlemagne began asking Von if he actually did the murder, with Durk butting in, saying that Von beat it because he didn't do it.
You gonna beat it, you gonna beat it if you didn't do it, that's all.
Von would go on to say that he can't get a normal job in Chicago because he's done so much dirt in the streets that if he was...
W Noodles. What is that? Is that Cheers? Or Bits? It's Bits. I appreciate you for the bits, my boy.
Seen working a
was
normal job,
good.
he would probably be killed on sight.
It's like, I can't work no job in Chicago, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's the same.
Why couldn't you work a job in Chicago?
I got a face card. Like, I can't.
Oh, I got you. People
like,
know you.
Say if I'm behind the counter at McDonald's, somebody coming out there, do something crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Then, at the end of the interview, as Von was explaining to Charlemagne that he had no plans after jail because he's got no experience doing anything, suddenly Durk begins to cough, seemingly giving Von an indication not to say anything incriminating about his former life as a killer.
What other plans did you have other than rap?
I ain't had no plan. That's the thing. Like, you get out, you got a lot of shit on your mind, so you getting that. What to do. It's like back to the streets.
Have you ever
experienced doing nothing?
Damn. I'm good. I'm chilling. WBiz.
Word.
Damn, that shit hella awkward, bro.
What to do. It's like back to the streets.
Have you ever
no experiences doing nothing. I ain't, you know.
Damn, that shit awkward.
This interview was also the perfect opportunity for Von to promote his upcoming hit song, Crazy Story.
Crazy Story dropped like sometime this week coming up. Sometime like any day.
Von would go on to tease the music video for Crazy Story, telling fans that he has a movie coming. And he would even surprise himself with the amount of comments that he got on the post about the song. Von would go on to release the audio for Crazy Story on December the 6th, 2018, just 1 day before the 1-year anniversary of him beating his murder case. Von would claim around this time to be making chess moves in the hopes that he would win at life. And his next move would indeed be a big one, with the full-blown music video for Crazy Story dropping on WorldStar on the 11th of December. Von himself would be amazed at racking up a whopping 110,000 views in his first day. But the appeal of Crazy Story was undeniable. It was a storytelling type song where Von would use his lyrics to tell an entire narrative, telling the story of himself plotting an armed robbery on a rich drug dealer and using a woman to set them up. But the robbery would go wrong when Von's ops caught him lacking, with the track ending in a shootout, and the entire story playing out in the cinematic music video for the song, with Von playing the main character and narrator. Von would end the song dropping his iconic final line where he introduced the world to his regular catchphrase, rapping "From 64th and from 65th, we not from 63rd," shouting out O-Block on 64th and 65th King Drive, and dissing his ops from 63rd and St. Lawrence and Eberhart Avenues, aka Tucaville. Dissing 63rd would become a massive part of Von's brand, and he would even later be seen selling merch showing the street sign for 63rd with a big cross over it. And the popularity of the song Crazy Story had Von's fans all over the world dissing 63rd without really even knowing what it means. Crazy Story was distributed by Lil Durk's OTF label and racked up a whopping 3 million views in a week. This is a huge hit, and today it sits over 69 million views on YouTube. Von was on a high after dropping Crazy Story. The week after the release, he would tweet a picture with the caption saying that people see you shining and forget that you're dangerous. And from here, he would make numerous tweets suggesting that the money was finally rolling in. At the end of December 2018, Durk would hop on an Instagram live with Von with a big stack of money celebrating the success of their release.
Oh, what's that?
I got a drop on the flex. He from Tennessee.
What that is? Confetti in your hand?
Playing, boy.
Never. Don't throw that. Hey, you gonna break some of that out. Don't throw that, bro.
Then in the new year, King Von would begin performing his hit song at live shows, even reacting on Twitter to his new song playing on the radio, suggesting that some people might have been shocked when they heard him coming out of their car stereo. Von felt like he had truly made it at this point, tweeting that even his mother was finally proud of him and saying that he felt truly blessed for the position that he had reached in life. But some people in Chicago were surprised. Now King Von was being played on the radio, doing interviews with The Breakfast Club, and becoming a household name, some people who knew him in Chicago for being a ruthless shooter were giving the side eye. There was actually a really interesting Reddit thread, asking people who knew of Von before 2017 to share what they thought when they saw him getting success in the music industry. Some said that they thought when he first started rapping he wouldn't get anywhere, but then when he kept progressing, it seemed like his life was a real movie. Whilst another person would say, 100% I could not believe it. When Durk took him on Breakfast Club, it was so surreal, and he almost admitted to murder on there too. But still, I never thought he would blow up. Then Crazy Story came out and started picking up steam, and it was like, dear God, this literal gang assassin is being played at NFL stadiums. Off the back of the success of Crazy Story, King Von would begin going even harder in his music, with his next track getting even more disrespectful to the ops. On January the 9th, 2019, Mimo600 and King Von would drop their new track, Exposing Me, and in the song Von mentions Wooski getting shot in the head. He says that he's put in so much work in the street that Get Back Gang will now look out for him. He says outright,
what's the best Exposing Me? Y'all think it's the original or what you got? You got Duck shit? I think Duck shit's the best. Duck, Pop, obviously. Who else? Everybody did
Killer before the rap, and saying, I swear I killed her, broke her back, a possible reference to K.I.'s murder. He would say that he's smoking Tuka and Mark, and Von even shouts out an old friend from O-Block, DQ, as his shooter, suggesting that he will call a hit and have DQ shoot someone for him. It seemed like the more violent and real Von's music got, the more fans flocked to him. But since the success of his Crazy Story, and being brought under the wing of successful Chicago drill rap legend Lil Durk, Von was spending a lot of time away from the mean streets of Chicago that he had rapped about, instead beginning to get used to living the high life of a successful rapper like Durk. Rather than jumping in stolen cars and doing drills, Von was seen with Durk jumping off of luxury yachts, seemingly surrounded by people who knew his reputation well.
Okay, Durk, yo, it's on you now. This Durk scared. This scared. Okay, Von. This scared.
Yeah, I'm a bitch.
Look at Von. He too scared.
Get wild, B-Roy.
They talking about Von, he scared to jump. They out here talking about you, all that savage, and you scared to jump in the water.
He got one sock on. What the
All
fuck?
of the success Von was seeing didn't seem to change who he really was underneath. It seemed like Durk was doing his best to take a killer out of a dangerous environment and turn him into a good person and rapper. But perhaps Lil Durk didn't realize that he was also inviting that killer energy into his legitimate rap career. Because on February the 5th, 2019, around 5:49 AM, Lil Durk and King Von were allegedly outside Atlanta restaurant The Varsity. Here, an altercation would take place in the parking lot where allegedly Lil Durk and King Von, along with fellow OTF affiliate THF Bezu and another Chicago native named Hella Bands, would allegedly shoot and rob a man by the name of Alexander Witherspoon, allegedly targeting him for $30,000 cash that he had on him at the time. Detectives would later claim that a video showed Lil Durk shooting out of his own personal car, a custom Jeep Trackhawk with a camouflage wrap and a large 300 on the sign that he was known to own. Durk had even posted clips of this car to Twitter with the caption, "Spin, spin," clips which even Von himself had reposted. Cops would be seen analysing the scene after the shooting, and the local news would report on the shooting before even becoming aware of these famous rappers' involvement.
Police found several shell casings in this parking lot. The Varsity was closed at the time this happened, around 5:45 this morning, but this club across Spring Street was open, and one patron who was parked in the Varsity lot to go to that club told me what he went through. The man from Chicago, who goes by Gutta, returned to the Varsity parking lot this afternoon to change the tire and assess the damage on his cousin's car after it was hit by bullets.
Tired, exhausted, wild night. I'm just happy I'm alive, basically, so that's really what my main focus is.
He had just paid the cover to get into one cigar lounge across Spring Street when he heard the shots outside around 5:45 a.m. He says people hit the floor and he hid in a bathroom. Police say a 23-year-old man was in serious condition when he was rushed to the hospital after the shooting. They are now looking for a dark-colored SUV. They are doing anything they can to help Atlanta police.
The afternoon after the shooting, Von would post up on Twitter with a handful of cash and a gun on the couch next to him. Later on, posting a tweet saying you never know who's gonna snitch when the cops come. Then, the day after the shooting, Von would tweet asking if you can be a killer and a good person too. A few days later, on February the 9th, 2019, Von would be seen in the background on an Instagram Live with Asian Doll, with Von talking to his friend on the phone, possibly about this very shooting. He would seemingly be telling his friend that he thinks he made all of the wrong moves and saying that the cops are now watching him.
Now you know I ain't trying to do none of this. Oh dude, that's so fluky.
What is Asian Doll doing?
That's why I tell you I get together. That shit was fool. You just feel like you made all the wrong moves, you know, on mistake. We just was tweaking on foot and that shit, you know. We just got to be tighter last time for them. Nah, you understand? See that look? See, that's the part I was saying. Like, everybody be tweaking with me on, oh, you know, Jason, them all of my head tweaking with me, talking about this, that, and that. But I ain't letting you know that. I'm just letting them tweak with me and trying to make sure everything decent. All the time, you don't be seeing all that part, man. I'm arguing with the man about putting on. I'm arguing about the man at the show. I'm arguing with the man on the stage. I'm arguing with the man airworking. And you think I'm just, you know,
they talking about where the fuck he get that accent?
Yeah, they be tweaking with me, boy.
They be speaking in a different language. God.
I don't understand him sometimes, y'all. Either.
Man, they did all on him and shit, like.
Boy, nothing you need to think about it, talk about it. Everything happened to you that day. Oh, yeah, I know that I'm swinging you in the truck with us on phone when I get out right there. But you know, I'm high and thinking about it.
But clearly, Von wasn't too worried about the cops watching because he would tweet on February the 21st that he was ready to catch another body. And the day after, Von jumps on a reckless IG Live with fans, showing off all the money he had apparently made from features, dissing Tuka, and saying that he's not a rapper, just a gangster who raps for the money.
Hey, this beach, like, you know, I just picked this up, little folks. What, you about to drink some, smoke some? No, I'm gonna smoke Tuka. You know who Tuka is? No, what is that? That's him. He been dead for a long time. You don't know Tuka. The rapper! Man, I'm not a rapper, man. See, they think I'm a hoe. Nah, I'm a gangster. I just rap because they be giving me money for it.
While cops were slowly piecing together the facts about the shooting, Von was continuing with his rap career, without sparing a thought to how much self-incrimination he was doing to himself at the time. On February the 28th, Von drops a feature on Dari's song, Gang Only, where he raps he has a lot of bodies, even saying that on his first murder, the victim thought it was a robbery. Around a week later, on March the 5th, 2019, King Von's song Wait unofficially leaks. That track has some brazen lyrics, where he says that he has more bodies than the killer from Scream, as well as admitting that he shot up Dunbar School with L.A. Capone, something he had tweeted about prior. He would also say that he remembers his first murder and saying that he missed a bunch of shots, but now his aim is better. And while these demonic tracks are circulating online, King Von and Lil Durk are having a great time flexing on Instagram Live and fighting over who has the most money and designer clothing.
Hey, you saw me flexing earlier?
No, man, I was too big.
Nickname Popeye. Popeye, no spinach. Yeah. Come on. Hold on.
I was too busy. No.
Get your what?
I just
what?
know.
What?
This shit. I don't play. I just married myself to death.
You flash.
That shit don't matter though. You over there with 20 on.
Huh?
You over there with $20.
Don't try to count my don't count my pockets on phone number. Hey, what you on the damn? You doing too much. Them BBS.
Which pair of on something?
That's a couple belts.
Hey, I'm saying.
$5.50 a piece.
You still flexing?
Hey, got these Chanels right here.
Later on in this live, Von would joke to Lil Durk, saying that he was smoking on Lil Mark and Tuka.
I'm right here kicking with Lil Mark. Dirty ass.
Damn.
Marky.
That shit we so much yesterday, man.
Marky.
I never would sleep in the studio.
Lil Mark. Tuka, nigga, y'all know what the f going on. I don't know about this.
But at this point, King Von was playing huge concerts to massive crowds, and selling verses to other rappers all over the country and making headlines in major rap publications. King Von would tweet around this time that he was scared to go back to jail and hoping that he wasn't making the wrong decisions, and suggesting that he was worried that if he did go back to jail, all his new friends would leave him behind. But no matter how far Von got into the rap industry, he just couldn't stop toting guns and thugging. At the end of March, Von was seen riding around with Lil Durk, toting a big strap for any ops that might pull up, even joking about having more bodies than anyone in the car and saying that he's about to get indicted and go to jail for a long time.
Stop playing me on them grams. They acting gay. Stop playing. Playing.
They back on?
Oh, yeah.
Are they right? Yeah. Up and down we go.
And I got more whites in there, but got this low back up, man. He get excited in his.
Late.
It's over. You know I'm coming out. Look.
After this, Durk had whoever was behind the wheel driving incredibly fast in that Jeep Trackhawk, with Von seemingly in fear of his life and joking that his gun is about to go off.
That's up good.
Up and down we go.
I'm here go crazy. And this whole king.
Whoa.
Like an hour and a half.
In that two-seater, riding with a thought. Damn, ain't no get to this good. Hey, you gonna do? Stop doing that, man.
This motherfucker down.
Stop playing, man. It's not out, man. I quit.
Nah, cuz. You drag.
This I'm sick. This go on.
You got it on the drive, cuz.
It's a truck.
Man.
Oh, my ears working out.
I'll talk to my fans for this. Yeah.
I love y'all. Hey, everybody on here. I love y'all. Hold on, this shit.
What you talking about, boy? Hold on.
Oh, man,
Slow down, cuz.
Where you going? Slow down.
Oh.
Slow down, cuz. Slow down, cuz. I thought the slow music was gonna work. Hey, cuz y'all motherfucker be scared as hell. Doing 300 on that motherfucker.
I'm sweating.
Your life flash. Hey, Chopper to my. Hey, Chopper, so y'all scream. He said, shut the f up.
What happened to my seatbelt on? Hey. Back seat with my. Damn, my seatbelt don't work.
Hey, tell.
Seatbelts in this
work. Chopper, so shut your crybaby ass up.
I better get this young ass on. It's gonna be the fucking cool. Oh, there you go.
Seatbelt broke. You hear that motherfucker?
Yeah.
Seatbelts don't work in this car. You trying to put the seatbelt on, bro?
Yeah, but I'm moving around on the back seat.
I wouldn't chase me in this.
Down the ride to my area.
Now you back talking that games. You just screaming. You just screaming like a little.
Ain't no with me.
You just the screen. He texted me, I love you, bro. How's I'm gonna read it, motherfucker, both of me out there.
Dirk and Von were clearly living the fast life at this point, and seemingly having faced no consequences so far for the shooting at the Varsity nearly 2 months before. However, rumours would continue to swirl about their involvement in serious crimes. On the 31st of March 2019, King Von is seen hanging out with Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, who is signed to Baton Rouge rapper NBA Youngboy, with Quando appearing in a clip on King Von's Instagram where he would diss Von's ops on 63rd.
I'm saying though, they got 63rd, dirty ass, man. Hey, listen, though, man, 64, y'all 63rd over there.
It seems that back then, Von and Quando Rondo's camps were pretty cool with each other. That very same night that he was with Quando, Von is seen hanging out and hitting the stage with Lil Durk. Von would tweet a picture with Dirk, along with a caption saying they've got to stay focused because their enemies envy them. The same day these pictures were taken, an altercation would take place at the Hidden Village Apartments complex in Atlanta. A man named Tyreek Livat was shot dead, with the news reporting a total of 5 people shot, the result of a huge shootout. Apparently, a large fight had broken out between 2 large groups, and an hour after the fight, one group who had left and returned got into it again and begun shooting, with 5 people being hit in the altercation, and Tyreek, unfortunately losing his life, being found dead by police in the parking lot around 10:30 PM. The police would say that the shooter goes by a nickname, but refused to disclose it to the press, with reports on this incident making it to the TV news the following day.
Now to a developing story. A shooting leaves 1 person dead, 4 others injured. This happened at an apartment complex in southwest Atlanta. Latasha Givens is live outside of Grady Memorial Hospital. Latasha, what are we learning about their conditions this morning?
Well, Christy, police tell us this all started at a house party last night on Landrum Drive. They tell us a fight broke out between 2 large groups, and at some point a man opened fire, hitting 5 people. Let's take a look at some of that video from last night. Police tell us 1 man was found dead at the party, while 4 others were rushed here to Grady. We're told that the victims' ages range from 17 to 20, and the victims are all male. Investigators are trying to determine a motive and what happened leading up to that shooting.
After this, a rumor would circulate suggesting that King Von and THF-BEZU had something to do with the shooting. However, Lil Durk would tweet never, just a couple of hours after the body was discovered, followed by tweeting protect the money at all costs the morning after. Von would tweet the following morning that you can do everything right and they're still going to find a way to bring you down, dissing somebody that he doesn't name. Meanwhile, another member of their entourage, Mimo600, would tweet the day after saying that people will end up on the news. For the record, there's never been any concrete evidence to indicate that Von, Dirk, BEZU, or any of their entourage had anything to do with this killing, and Tyreek Livat's cousin would actually do a YouTube interview saying that he also doesn't believe that Von had anything to do with the killing either.
They said King Von killed your cousin.
That's what they saying. I don't believe it, but honestly, I think they be just attaching King Von name. I don't see it. I don't see it. You know, you could be with Dirk with all these fancy and you know what I'm saying. Then you over there like. You know what I'm saying? Then it don't add up.
It's highly likely that this incident had nothing to do with Von and Dirk, but that didn't stop people all over the internet making King Von body count articles and videos speculating as to whether King Von was responsible for this murder too. None of this proves Von was involved, but what it does prove is that even if he wasn't involved, his reputation as a shooter would have the fans and public pointing the finger at him regularly. But as the weeks went by, Von would continue to go about his life, whilst the cops would continue building the case related to the original shooting at the Varsity. On April the 1st, the victim in the Varsity shooting, Alexander Weatherspoon, would end up being booked into a Chicago jail on unrelated charges of possession of a stolen vehicle. It seemed like the police were slowly getting closer to having something concrete, but King Von just didn't seem worried about attracting the attention of the authorities. In a social media clip uploaded on April the 2nd, 2019, King Von recorded himself singing in the back of a car with Lil Durk, dissing dead people like Dooski and saying that they almost killed Wooski.
Here we go again, here we go again, back on the road again, back on the road again, right down the avenue, right down the avenue, we catch you and you through, we catch you and you through. I don't wanna talk to you, I don't wanna talk to you, I don't really shoot, I don't really with you. Is I'm shooting right, ain't wrong. Is I'm shooting light, I'm shooting strong. Die, why?
Yeah, the little
Tuka,
Zico, T3, Dooski, Wolski, almost. Fathead.
Also in April, he would tweet saying he's so real he might kill, and posting throwback pictures of him and T. Roy back when they were hitters in Chicago. He'd even post a picture of himself with a gun in his waistband and a caption saying his enemies envy him, as well as tweeting about Can't Get Right being killed in the parking lot. Von would tweet saying that he's never the victim, always the suspect. And this is all while police are still looking for a suspect in the varsity shooting. On the 10th of April, a day before the anniversary of K.I.'s murder, King Von would tweet a cryptic message asking if the streets could be his Valentine, saying that they're tired of dying. Then one day after the anniversary of K.I.'s death, King Von would make a biblical tweet saying, "God said to me out of his own mouth to cut her off, grandson, and grandson said, in Jesus' name, amen." Von would even tweet reminding people that even though they see him having fun on Twitter, be careful, because he's still dangerous in real life. He would say that he'll do something to somebody if they go against him, and Von would also release a clip apparently promoting Lil Durk's new cereal, Durkios, telling people to go and buy the cereal whilst waving the clip of a gun. Von would also later tell a woman that he comes with the cereal.
If you ain't order no Durkios, that you a... Hey, stop playing my mother twin. Order that.
A day later, on April the 16th, 2019, Von is on Instagram Live, mocking Wooski for changing after being shot in the head, saying that Wooski doesn't diss them anymore.
He ain't been the same. He don't talk shit no more, nothing. I don't know what the f. This man talk to me every day. This man ain't DM me no more, nothing.
The fuck did they just tell you? Whoever screen recorded.
Some bullets be changing them. Man. I hope you watching. I hope you hear this your ass up, dude.
That same day, he would tweet that he doesn't chase clout, he actually chases people with guns, and tweeting that Took had died for your enjoyment. He would even tweet about the crimes that he was committing in Atlanta, saying that he's been doing damage on the Chicago streets since he was young, and now he's ready to cause problems elsewhere, #steppers, a sentiment that apparently Lil Durk was in full support of. Durk was giving Von nothing but support during this period. He would make a cameo in the video for Von's track Cousins with Just Blow 600, another outrageously gangster anthem where King Von raps that if his ops aren't outside, then he will find and kill their cousins instead. This is an unbelievable thing to rap considering King Von's history of killing people and their cousins. But the track would have some more seemingly incriminating lyrics, like Just Blow 600 rapping that him and Von are popping pills, riding in the Jeep Trackhawk looking for ops, and killing people after fights. Von would rap that his gang's body count is 24, and he'd rap that he kills women and men and can't tell the difference. And Von would even promote the video for Cousins with a hilarious tweet, telling fans that if their cousin is cool with their ops, to go to their auntie's house right now and kill them. King Von's first tweet after posting that song was warning his ops what he would do to them if he catches them without the police around. A day after that, Von posts a picture of himself eating cereal, and tweeting about having killers that want him dead, and killers that look up to him. Von was also feeling generous around this time, tweeting that he had given his mother a Gucci purse and $10,000 cash, as well as openly tweeting that he still robs people. Von would even reply to a troll who asked why he's robbing people when he's a rich, successful rapper, and Von actually replied to this, saying he robs people because he doesn't want to spend his own money, he wants to spend somebody else's. But even if he was robbing, Von would soon have the music money rolling in even more. Von would begin teasing his collaboration with Lil Durk, Crazy Story 2.0, on April 29th. Then the day after this, on April the 30th, Von ends up having a funny interaction with a fan, who replied to Lil Durk's teaser of Crazy Story 2.0, saying that she preferred it when King Von raps on his own. Von would reply to this saying, the song isn't part 2, it's a version 2, and that part 2 of Crazy Story is coming eventually, with the girl then trolling Von by pleading for him not to kill her, with Von facepalming and promising not to kill the woman. I mean, to me, this interaction really drives home just how absurd it is that you've got this celebrity rapper just trying to go about his career and release music whilst it's widely known that he's a hardened killer and people are tweeting at him, begging him to not kill them too. But regardless, things were going well for King Von, and Crazy Story 2.0 with Lil Durk was due to be a hit. And it seemed like King Von could do with another hit, because he had apparently blown through $150,000 by this point, encouraging fans that they can do it too if they just work hard. Von would also tweet that people talk slick until bullets rip through them. Sadly for Von, the good times would soon come to an end. King Von would return to Chicago for a hometown concert, but this would end up being cancelled on the day, with Von suggesting that somebody was out to get him. And then, on May the 4th, 2019, footage would emerge showing a huge force of over 30 Chicago police officers raiding O-Block to arrest King Von, with Von himself being arrested in dramatic footage where he was tackled to the ground. Von would also tweet that people talk slick until bullets rip through them. Sadly for Von, the good times would soon come to an end. King Von would return to Chicago for a hometown concert, but this would end up being cancelled on the day, with Von suggesting that somebody was out to get him. And then, on May the 4th, 2019, footage would emerge showing a huge force of over 30 Chicago police officers raiding O Block to arrest King Von, with Von himself being arrested in dramatic footage where he was tackled to the ground, with an enraged mob of his friends accusing the cops of stealing his chain at the scene. And the cops even had to draw assault rifles on the crowd to keep them at bay whilst they arrested Von. In addition to those clips, the full body cam footage of King Von's arrest would later be released.
Stay on the ground. Gang, what the Just don't resist. Don't resist. Gang, why y'all grab me? What the wrong with y'all? We got a car. Let's go. Hey, let me get my money in my tree. Hold on, man.
Oh.
Oh my God.
It's on camera though.
I got it.
Oh man. That's crazy. Damn, this shit so.
Let's go. I'm just gonna put him in here. We're good.
Following the arrest, Von would be taken to the station where he would continue to argue with the cops.
I want 20. Stop it.
We got your chain, big bro. Is there anything on your not supposed to
Money. Nah, they be paying attention. They was at his show waiting for him to come. Nah, hell no.
Yeah, I had to, man. I had to. I seen you. I had to get you out the way quickly.
Why? I ain't the type to do all the extra.
We'll explain everything in a minute.
Yeah. Alright? Now, once this all been done, I'm alright. Y'all wrong, but we'll apologize.
You're right. At the same time, though, when you get into custody, people that be your mans wanna, especially if you drop some on the ground, you might never see it again. They're your boys.
After Von's arrest, his furious mugshot would later be made public, and he would remain in jail for a significant stretch of time. Lil Durk would react to the news, tweeting "Free Von" with a sad face. But only the week after Von is arrested, something unexpected happened. On May the 11th, 2019, the fourth person who was in the track hawk on the night of the shooting, Hella Bands, would be suddenly shot and killed outside of a Miami nightclub before facing any charges, with a Miami Beach spokesperson revealing that Hella Bands was also wanted in Atlanta for attempted murder and armed robbery. After Von was picked up in Chicago and waiting to be sent back to Atlanta to face charges, 2 days later, on May the 13th, 2019, THF Bezu would also be arrested in Chicago, charged with being a fugitive from justice out of state once again in connection with the Atlanta shooting. For the meantime, it would only be Von and Bezu in jail, with Dirk remaining free and tweeting Free Von, as well as an RIP to Hella Bands. Von would be transferred to Atlanta to face charges in connection with the shooting on May the 17th. And as usual, his sister ran his social media accounts, keeping fans updated with pictures of Von in jail. But while Von was behind bars, with his mentor Dirk free, his career would keep rising in his absence. Only a couple of days later, on May the 20th, 2019, Crazy Story 2.0 drops with that Lil Durk verse. This remix of Crazy Story had King Von and Lil Durk going back to back over the original booming Crazy Story instrumental. Crazy Story 2.0 was a huge street hit, and today sits close to 100 million views on YouTube, and even landed Von his first entry on the Billboard Global 200 chart. Unfortunately, the Atlanta shooting case would also catch up to Lil Durk soon too, with Durk tweeting at the end of May that he was turning himself in, and sitting down for a TV news interview where he revealed that he was turning himself in to face these charges, and that he was also releasing a song called Turn Myself In.
You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
You are crazy.
A rapper's ride. Soon after we spoke, Dirk Banks, a.k.a. the performer Lil Durk, emerged from his lawyer's space and headed toward an SUV. Soon after that, he stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta after he found out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. We were actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of what he needs to take care of.
That's the one lawyer.
That's the tour.
He's got a multi-million-dollar salary music career going.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
Yeah, it did.
Warrants involving an incident in February on North Avenue involved charges including criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault. One document indicates an Atlanta police investigator said to the best of his knowledge, Banks was employed or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in gang activity, shooting at the victim while co-defendants shot and robbed him.
I had a bad background, just growing up as a child, about father being incarcerated for 25 years, 26 years. So I had a rough past, but like me moving to Atlanta, I just thought that just changed my whole identity of thinking.
After Dirk and Von were in custody, an Atlanta judge revealed that they believed that there was enough evidence to charge both Dirk and Von in the attempted murder, and Dirk and Von would be seen in an iconic televised court appearance.
Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial. The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. The APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
Apparently, their defense team were looking to put forward a self-defense plea with the suggestion that it was the man who was shot who actually initiated the altercation. Then, after some legal back and forths, Lil Durk would be granted the opportunity to get out of jail on a $250,000 bond. Following this announcement, Durk was seen running out of the jail and telling fans that Von is getting out tomorrow.
Yo, be out here. Be out here. Yo, what's up? I'm getting fired with the motherfucking possible, yeah.
What the fuck is this title? Lil Durk runs out of jail, leaves King Von behind.
15 minutes. Nah. 30. Okay, then.
Oh, we were still waiting on the driver to come though. Just hop in. We waiting on the driver. Hey, tell me, hey, you can just stay right here.
Another car is about to pull up. No,
damn, 27,000 people in there.
I'm back.
Hey, thank everybody for the love and support.
Yeah, definitely appreciate everybody for rocking out with us, supporting us, leaving us, you know.
Everybody that screams free.
I've been here so long, this Instagram feel fake.
Wait, when did he get out? How long were we in there? Like a month or so?
Vaughn will be home tomorrow.
Dirk was back, and he would eventually open up about his time in jail after his release, with his lawyer saying definitively he is not in a gang.
Then when you get in type of that, in a predicament like this, you would sit back and be like, damn, like why I ain't never do this more? Why I ain't never do this with my kids more? Why I ain't do this with my pops more, or my mama? You know what I'm saying? So it just set me down, so I just understand life more.
A member of his legal team says slightly more than 2 months after he surrendered to be booked into the Fulton County Jail, Lil Durk, a.k.a. Dirk Banks, did a book...
Quinn Cook? T Grizzly? What the fuck?
Giveaway Sunday
Who remember
in
Quinn
conjunction
Cook?
with the Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League, where kids can watch NBA players and
That's
others
his
for
name?
free.
Doing the
Because
Warriors?
it was the right thing to do, though she knows there will be critics.
It ain't nothing new pop up because of the case. We've been doing it.
That he did not do it because of the serious charges he faces after a February incident on
voice.
North Avenue in which a man was wounded by gunfire, including criminal attempt to commit murder
We'll fight our case in court.
and a gang charge.
Lil Durk validated himself as having a gang affiliation, right?
Allegedly, right.
Among others.
Being from South Southern Chicago, essentially you have to choose a gang for your safety. You don't choose a gang, you can be killed just for not being in a gang.
Is he currently in a gang?
Absolutely not. He moved to Atlanta to get away from the gang life, to get away from the streets.
Von would also be granted a $300,000 bond, being released on June the 22nd, confirmed by a tweet of course. With Von jumping on Instagram Live, fresh home from jail, and dissing his baby mama for not thinking that he would ever be getting out.
I want to shout out everybody that was on my dick and thought I wasn't coming out, suck my dick. I want to shout out everybody that was talking crazy to my baby mama now. I've been through some Hey, last called me a hoe, I smacked the shit out of her.
Von would go from jail straight onto house arrest, opening up about his situation on Instagram Live.
I ain't got no good shout out. I can't hear. Damn. I'll be back later.
Part of the bail conditions were that Durk and Von could not be around each other, as King Von would later reveal in a no-jumper interview.
Yeah, so yeah, me and Durk, we only see each other like at court, if we got court or something.
But Von and Durk would still be releasing music together. On July the 9th, 2019, Von and Durk released their latest collab track, Like That. And despite their legal troubles,
song.
Von was still dropping lyrics hinting towards having killed
it was a
K.I.
good
and
duo,
dissing
bro.
Tuka. It's actually crazy to me that even whilst facing serious charges of attempted murder, both King Von and Lil Durk would continue to rap about such true criminality. Lil Durk's experiment in taking the realist gangbanger from his block and turning him into a drill rapper was going too far and jeopardizing his own career. It was only years later, after Von's death, that those charges against Lil Durk for the varsity shooting were eventually dropped, with the district attorney saying that if King Von was still alive, he likely would have still been charged and facing trial for attempted murder. But in the end, whilst he was alive, King Von would face no real consequences for his involvement in this supposed shooting. In fact, Von would bail out from these charges and continue his career, not even choosing to keep a low profile either. In fact, even with the scrutiny of the police in 2 states, Von would go on to have one of the most successful runs in the rap game, dropping song after song of violent drill anthems, with the entire world following along and wondering how this multiple murderer just kept getting away with it.
I didn't really know you like that. So like,
Once
I
the
think like
hip-hop world
2019.
saw King Von next to Lil Durk in the courtroom in shackles, he quickly
2020.
gained a reputation
Later
as one
than
of
most.
the realest street rappers in
I
the
love
rap game.
that.
For some people, seeing Von in
Too
court with Durk, one of the most
care that
famous
much.
rappers in Chicago history, was their first introduction to him. However, for anybody that looked closer into his history, discovering the murder case that he beat, or as many as 7 people he was rumored to have killed, they would be easily convinced that King Von might just be one of the most deadly and dangerous people to ever pick up a microphone. And King Von wasn't just a killer.
Self-snitching. This shit is fucking 35 minutes long.
Who had gotten away with his terrible crimes, but he was seemingly willing to rap about them for the whole world to hear. Von's next release after getting arrested with Durk would be his May 30th, 2019 feature on Izzy Blatt's song Straight Facts, with this track being yet another self-incrimination fest. Von raps on the song that he used to do murder for hire, and he says that he shoots people in the face and is 7-1 on beating murder cases. Von even ended the song saying that the last person that came to his street got killed. With lyrical content this dark, violent, and frankly self-incriminating, it's hard to believe that King Von would go on to achieve mainstream success in the rap game. But his music was undeniably good, despite the murderous messages behind it. He genuinely had a talent for taking these dark experiences he'd had in the streets and making them into songs that painted a vivid picture. And celebrities would soon begin discovering his music and promoting it without a full appreciation of the stories behind the songs. Von would end up getting a huge career boost when basketball star LeBron James' son, Bronny, would jam out to Von's original anthem, Crazy Story, with Bronny even passing Von's music to his father, who reportedly would end up becoming a fan of playing Von's music during his workouts. While Von spent close to 2 months in jail in connection for the attempted murder in Atlanta, he would spend some of that time behind bars writing some of the biggest songs of his career. And when he got out, he would go on the run of a lifetime, taking over the rap game with his new songs and buzzing reputation as a real shooter. Priming fans for the upcoming release of his debut mixtape, Grandson Volume 1, Von promoted it with an Instagram post pondering if the people he killed spirits follow him around until he dies, and also tweeting that by the time people work out what he's done, it will be too late and his mixtape will be out. The tape's lead single, What It's Like, dropped on September the 2nd, 2019, and the music video for that song would feature that video of his ops saying that he was responsible for the killing of Can't Get Right, as well as footage from his arrest in O-Block and courtroom footage from the Atlanta case with Lil Durk. This song is an introspective and deep track about what it's really like living the gang life in Chicago. Von would rap about getting to jail and being given knives to defend himself, ops trying to work out who killed their friends, and rapping that when he was in jail, he caught somebody who killed one of his friends and beat them up, even saying that he was in jail with D. Rose, that same shooter who was allegedly at the scene of the Lil Mark murder with Von, rapping that he was there in a cell when D. Rose got sentenced to 40 years in prison for a 2014 murder of a teenager, with Von rapping that witnessing D. Rose get sentenced to all of these years really hurt his soul. Von would end that song with a heartfelt outro, saying that the same cops that locked up his friends D. Rose, C-Day, and Rondo No. 9 told him that they were out to get him too after he caught his murder in 2014. Von said that the cops were trying to catch him and his friends like it was a game, but really, this was just Von taunting those cops who were never able to catch him for the things he'd allegedly done. Ironically, just the day after dropping a song about the cops trying to arrest him, the cops would arrest Von for battery on September 3rd, 2019, after apparently beating up a man who called his girlfriend Asian Doll a bitch in the studio, with Von admitting openly on Instagram Live that he just beat somebody up for his girlfriend.
Somebody called my girlfriend a bitch today. Tell him what happened to my hand, bro.
Folks overbeat his ass.
Von would be in jail and not posting to his own Twitter account for just over a month. But while he was inside, his music kept on releasing, all in the lead up to his Grandson Volume 1 mixtape. On September the 10th, 2019, Von would appear on a song called For a Fact with another rapper called Sim Santana. And on this song, Von would rap that he was killed and would do it again, as well as a lyric where he says that all of his bodies are headshots and that tweeting about the murders has attracted the attention of the cops, as well as lines about catching ops and killing them by bus stops, seemingly a reference to the death of Little Mark. But it would be 3 days later when Von would bless the fans with the song that they had been truly waiting for, as Crazy Story Part 3 was finally released. This was another op-shooting, storytelling anthem, and the most significant release leading up to September 19, when his Grandson Volume 1 mixtape would come out. This was a roaring debut for Von, with the project landing at number 75 on the Billboard 200, and this project had some crazy song concepts, like the track F Your Man, which is a love song, where Von raps about seducing a woman with a boyfriend and vowing to kill him for her, along with numerous lyrics about killing ops and catching bodies, as well as shooting up funerals. He also had another song with Lil Durk called Twin Them, where Durk says that Von shoots people and that they got caught shooting on camera with no masks on, seemingly a reference to their Atlanta shooting case. Von raps outright that he tries to kill people, ironically saying that he can't speak on what he's doing because the feds are watching him, you know, whilst rapping about what he's doing on his Billboard charting mixtape. He also had the pop rap love song No Flaws, where he sings to a woman about how dangerous and handsome he is. He also had a song Mama's Boy, where he says that his mother is who raised him into the robbing savage that he is today. He also references beating up K.I. on the train on this song. Von was putting out a lot of bold statements on this project, and surprisingly, with all of this coming out whilst he was still behind bars. Eventually, Von would get out of jail on October the 10th, 2019, being released and returning to Twitter immediately, continuing to push and promote his new mixtape, as well as announcing that he would be going on tour to perform his new hits live. And Von would go on to play huge shows with his fans going crazy, and he would waste no time beginning to tease new music soon after his mixtape dropped. Specifically, the first single of his next project, titled 2 AM, a song where Von rapped the brazen lyric, "Can't put no more guns in my videos because the ATF and DEA know they ain't props." And after this release, Von would claim to be receiving multi-million-dollar record deal offers. But while Von was getting more and more famous, so too were the rumors of him being a real killer, and his incriminating lyrics weren't helping matters either. During this period, it seemed like Von would simultaneously be claiming to have really done all of these murders in his music, but then at other times being desperately trying to convince his following that he never did anything. On his November 29th release, the song Rollin' with fellow rapper and accused double murderer YNW Melly, Von would rap that he has killed so many people they should call him Rambo, and saying, "I did it, but it wasn't me," which perfectly sums up his attitude during this time, jumping on songs and saying over and over again that he really is the killer they say he is, and then jumping on Twitter to say that he would never do anything like the rumors say he did. He would tweet after this release saying that somebody is trying to send him to jail every day. And in December, Von would appear prominently on Lil Durk's Family Over Everything compilation album for his OTF record label. with the front cover of this project ironically resembling a suspect board for a criminal investigation, with Von positioned as an underboss under Lil Durk. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the feds just downloaded this image and added it to the case file. But a few days later, on December the 14th, 2019, Von does a post on social media saying that he is all these dead people want to talk about in heaven. Rest in piss to the goofies. I wouldn't be the savage I am today if it wasn't for y'all. It seemed like Von was really getting more and more comfortable saying that he was a killer publicly. The following week, on December the 21st, 2019, Von does a feature for the rapper Lil Loaded where he raps that he put that boy in a box. But not long after this song dropped, Von would go live on Instagram in the car telling fans that he has bodies, and even going as far as to ask them to guess how many people he's killed, and asking the fans if they think that it's more than 5 bodies, and even seemingly swearing on O.D. Perry's life that he has killed more than 5 people.
Body into a top. And I got a lot of bodies. Tell them I got a lot, BJ.
They know.
Just free, how many I think? Let me stop there. Nah, you can't.
Hey, look.
What y'all think?
What y'all think? Or y'all think his ass all cap?
More than 5.
Well, y'all think his ass all cap?
More than 5?
Maybe he cap.
I'll take it out.
16.
I'll take it out.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
2,
8. Oh, more than 5.
0.
Ah, shut up.
Saying numbers.
They put numbers up there. They put numbers up there.
No,
7.
100. You know.
Hey,
y'all get off that scary shit, y'all.
Hey, what band is that?
Y'all getting scary. Stop being so scary.
They go, get out. Okay, damn.
Von was either feeling invincible or just being completely reckless. He would tweet a couple of days after Christmas 2019, beat the odds time and time again without doing no funny stuff. Staying 10 toes. I done chased and beat up the guys that you were claiming was gangster. I got fans all over the states. One of the realest and rawest people you'll ever meet. You're welcome. As well as saying F his dead ops. Going into 2020, Von was still winning, tweeting that it now costs $20,000 to book him for a show, and then announcing a huge booking opening for G Herbo on his PTSD tour. Clearly stacking that paper, in February, Von was going live in the bank, making a large deposit, impressing the bank manager.
Posting that crazy in this. What's up, my? You good? They feed you. Ain't nobody with you, is it? His ass. Nobody's safe.
But soon Von's bank account was about to go to the next level, because at the end of February, he would release one of the biggest songs of his career, his hit track, Took Her to the O. Another storytelling type track with a catchy chorus where Von shouts out O Block. But this time, it wasn't some random made up story. This was a song all about him meeting a woman who leads him to his rival from Tukaville turned rapper, FBG Duck. Von ends the song saying that he shoots Duck, literally rapping that he killed him and left him on the curb, with this supposedly fictional FBG Duck murder scenario being reenacted in the music video of the song too. The day that Von released the video, he would tweet saying that everything he says in his music is made up and that he's just rapping to make money for his family. And I'll be honest, I believe this is where we see Von's psychopathic tendencies really shining. Not only had he seemingly killed people and occasionally attempted to deny it on Twitter, but this time he had actually made a whole song and an entire narrative music video about him personally killing FBG Duck. This is someone he had openly been embroiled in a deadly feud for around a decade with at this point. Von was literally making videos telling the story of how he was going to kill FBG Duck, all while claiming on Twitter that his lyrics were just entertainment. But apparently they weren't, because allegedly behind the scenes, Von had put $100,000 of his hard-earned rap money up as a bounty on FBG Duck's head. This is the kind of behaviour that makes me feel King Von really was a serial killer, because no amount of success in the rap game was enough for him to stop killing people. Instead, his compulsion to kill, or at least to commission killings, was just too strong. He would continue to allegedly use his resources to have people killed behind the scenes, all while attempting to maintain a somewhat clean public image, despite all of the music that he was releasing celebrating murder. The video for Took Her to the O would get 1 million views in 24 hours, and at this point Von was really one of the hottest prospects in the rap game, and fans would be hungry for his next full-length release, which came on March the 6th, 2020.
I always thought, like, bro, like, Von should have been so much bigger. Like, I knew Von from Crazy Story. That was, like, the first song that put me onto him. You feel me? And I was like, bro, like, I felt like he was underrated at this point. I was, in the middle of the pandemic, I was listening to LeVon James, and you feel me, Grandson 41. I'm like, damn, bro, like, he really, like his songs were so underrated at that point. It was like, yo, he should be a star now. Like, he should be at that Dirk level or above Dirk. Like, he is super underrated. And that's what I felt. Like, I feel like people were always sleeping on him. Like, he was going up, but then it was just like, it was too slow. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, people didn't fuck with him or what. But it was like after he died, people found out now. This shit was so weird. Because it was like, he was just at a certain level for so long. He was just like stagnant. You know what I mean? Don't know what it was. My first song was Took It to the O.
When he dropped his new mixtape, LeVon James,
he was
named after
Dirk
the
until he
famed
died,
NBA legend.
but it was like, I'm just saying, it was super slow. I don't know why.
LeBron James, who had become a fan of Von's music along with his son. And
6 to 24.
Von would troll his ops by even purchasing a promotional billboard for the project on 63rd, as well as releasing Not From 63rd merchandise.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Von, however, the project itself would end up debuting precisely at number 63rd on the Billboard charts. Sometimes I see stuff like this, and I just feel like it must have been God just making fun of Von for all the bad things he did in his life. Because this was his biggest career achievement, but you know he must have been furious to have ended up charting at the one number that he despises. And Von would never even publicly acknowledge or tweet the chart performance of this mixtape, probably for that reason that it went 63rd. But landing at 63rd on Billboard was still a great performance for a relatively new artist with such violent and raw content. The project itself will be laced with more aggressive drill anthems, like the track Down Me with Lil Durk, where Von raps about getting doctors to bring people back to life so he can kill them again, and killing so many ops that the surviving ones don't have any friends left. There would also be the song Broke Ops, where he seemed to reference calling for the hit on Can't Get Right. Then there was the track Don't Wanna Be Me, where Von explains that his mindset growing up had to be either him or me. He'd reminisce on hearing gunshots the night he moved into O Block as a child, and his experience growing up around killers and criminals and having to fight every day. He would rap about being devastated at the loss of his right-hand man T-Roy, and explaining how losing Sherroyd, OD, and Platoon turned him into a killer in 2012, ultimately describing the gory details of the bloody couple of months of killing that he was allegedly involved in 2014. And during this time, Von also begun to post pictures of his friends from O Block posing with large wads of cash and referring to them as Get Back Gang Entertainment, further blurring the lines between the music and the real gang killing people in the streets. A week later, Von would appear on his girlfriend Asian Doll's song Pull Up, a track with jaw-dropping lyrics where Von claimed to have killed 7 people in total at this point, saying that if he catches 3 more, he's at double digits. A day after that released, Von would tweet that girls hook up with him just so that they can say that they were with a killer. Next, he appeared on the song Get Back Mode with O Block veteran Boss Top, where he rapped that he was stacking up bodies like Tetris. All of these murder anthems were doing numbers, and the money was rolling in for Von. He would graduate from buying his mother Gucci purses, soon flexing on Twitter that he had just bought her a brand new Mercedes and large suburban home. Von's career was going from strength to strength, and he was showing no signs of letting up. On April the 29th, 2020, he would drop his new single, Grandson for President, coming with lyrics where he says that they're trying to blame him for all the unsolved murders in his city. He'd rap that he's trying to kill all of the ops, and he would end his verse saying that he could kill you by rapping on the beat, or by shooting you in the street. And Von would promote the music video for this song on Instagram, adding a caption with 7 skulls, asking people how many they have, sparking speculation that this was him cryptically telling the world once again that he had killed 7 people to promote this song. A few days later, he appeared on the song Body Count with Mozzie and G Herbo, rapping that if you have a few bodies, everyone will know. A couple of days later, Von would tweet that he can't get a job now because he has more bodies than TK, a teenage rapper who got 55 years for murder. Von would also tweet that he's done more hits than made hit songs. And then, on May 21st, 2020, a vlog was released which showed Von going back to O Block, aka Parkway Gardens, to hand out wads of cash to his gang. And it would later emerge that Von was providing drugs and guns to his old hood, and splitting the rewards with his crew, providing them with jewelry and luxury vacations in exchange for their work in the streets. Von clearly didn't care about broadcasting his activities to the world, and eventually, people began to take notice. On May the 22nd, YouTuber Trap Geek releases an iconic video on King Von titled The Soft Spoken Assassin. This video essentially broke down Von's violent past and his rise to the top of the rap game.
One murder of a kid named Modell, allegedly, according to the internet detectives on Reddit, has King Von's name written all over it.
And Von didn't seem to initially appreciate the attention, tweeting that the videos these white people are all making about him aren't true, and calling them the cops, or 12. However, a month later, Von seemed to have a change of heart, and he would actually begin to use that nickname that Trap Geek gave him as a caption on his Instagram, declaring himself to be a soft-spoken assassin. 2 days later, Von tweeted that he still has people on his list. presumably referring to a list of people he still wants to kill. And it seems that the biggest name at the very top of that list was FBG Duck. Von had been going back and forth with Duck's biggest people on his list, to be a soft-spoken assassin. 2 days later, Von tweeted that he still has people on his list, presumably referring to a list of people he still wants to kill. And it seems that the biggest name at the very top of that list was FBG Duck. Von had been going back and forth with Duck since high school and had a years-long grudge against him. He'd had a Twitter exchange with Duck the day before he'd allegedly killed KI, who was a close friend of Duck's, an exchange where Von said that he was also looking for Duck. In fact, a couple of months after King Von had released the music video for Took Her to the O, that video where he played out his fantasy of killing Duck, Duck would go live saying that he beat up Von on the school bus back in the day.
Beat your ass on the bus on Tuga.
Duck would also tell Von that he's only famous because of Lil Durk.
You come up under Durk. When y'all get mentioned as Lil Durk homies.
But here's where things get chilling, because as Duck continues to mock Von in what seems to be a disrespectful, but at least not entirely death-threatening way, Von would pop up, following along live and demonically commenting on Duck's Instagram names of people that Get Back Gang had seemingly killed, and continuing to insult him throughout the entire live. It seemed like Von was plotting on having Duck killed for years. In November 2018, King Von would be on live, apparently in Lil Durk's Atlanta home, expressing his desire to see FBG Duck dead, saying that he would perform at his funeral whilst eating some cereal.
Yeah, cereal be busting, so. They say King Von featuring FBG Duck.
I said that's what they want to see, huh?
Stop that, man. I'll perform at his funeral.
We now know that Von had allegedly put up a $100,000 bounty on FBG Duck's head, and funnily enough, Von tweeted throughout his career that his main goal was simply to make $100,000. And when Von was finally rich, less than a month before Duck was killed, he would tweet, "Von got the money, so Von gonna pay it to his brothers." And he would also later rap on the song Me and Doody Low that he gave out 100 so you can bet that they're coming. In July 2020, Von would also show off O-Block chains that he had purchased for his friends from the famous hip-hop jewelry store Icebox, something that we now know may well have been an incentive provided to Von's shooters to continue to catch bodies for him. And soon, we would see the tragic reality of this situation playing out on the streets of Chicago in real time. On the afternoon of August 4th, 2020, FBG Duck is shopping on the Gold Coast, a place that's been described as the Rodeo Drive of Chicago, a high-end and high-profile tourist shopping district. After being given Duck's location, 6 shooters were sent from O-Block to kill him. They were Charles Liggins, aka C-Murder, to Carlos Offord, aka Los Munna, Marcus Smart, aka Moowop, Christopher Thomas, aka C-Thang, Kenneth Robertson, aka Kenny Mack,
Marcus
and
Smart.
Zell Munna. After being provided with his location, 2 vehicles end up 30 minutes away from O-Block, pulling up to the location where Duck had been shopping.
Damn, 30
then,
minutes?
at about 4:37 PM, Duck would be confronted outside of the Dolce & Gabbana store by a group of masked individuals hopping out of 2 cars and opening fire on Duck in broad daylight. A man and a woman who was standing with Duck at the time of the shooting were both injured, but fortunately survived. And someone would even post a 12-minute video depicting the crime scene immediately after Duck's death, with Duck being seen writhing in pain on the ground in the final moments of his life. Once again, this situation just drives home the destruction these killers were so willing to inflict on the streets that they lived in and to the fellow citizens who lived there with them.
I'm in the Gold Coast right now. They shot FBG Duck, man. I don't know who shot him, man. I just ran into this, y'all. Man. They shooting in the Gold Coast of Chicago, bro. Chicago is not a safe place to be. You cannot even go downtown and enjoy your day without violence, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at this, bro. That's a Chicago rapper, man, by the name of FBG Duck.
After Duck's passing, this brazen broad daylight hit would make international news, with reporters comparing the killing to a Chicago mob boss hit from the 30s.
On August 4th, 2020, it looked like an old-time outfit attack here on Chicago's Oak Street. 2 attack cars, 4 shooters, and a hail of bullets. But the target wasn't a 1930s gangster. He was a new millennium rapper, FBG Duck.
It would appear that only 7 minutes after the killing of FBG Duck, King Von would tweet a goat emoji, seemingly congratulating himself for pulling off a hit that he had wanted to do for more than 10 years. This was quite possibly the 9th murder that King Von was responsible for, and the 11th that he had allegedly been connected to. And perhaps Von soon realised that he shouldn't be celebrating this one too hard, because the following day he would tweet denying being involved and saying that everybody blames him. Von would later tweet that him and Duck settled their differences before his death, suggesting that they were even going to make a song together. This to me seems like an obvious lie, once again showcasing the psychopathic tendencies that King Von had when it came to killing. In public, he would say anything he could to take the heat off himself and appear innocent, but behind closed doors, he had allegedly plotted, paid for, and was celebrating Duck's
people
murder.
would believe
Von
in
and
that
other
shit,
O
bro.
Block
I was
affiliates would go on to release song after
mainstream
song
people.
referencing the murder of Duck. The day after Duck's death, King Von and Dirk dropped their new song, All These N-Words. A track which doesn't have any specific lyrics pertaining to Duck, but in it, Von would rap about having bodies from way back, and the song's release essentially served as a victory lap for Von, Dirk, and anyone else who would have been happy about Duck's demise. OTF's Doody Low would reference people getting killed whilst shopping on the song Me and Doody Low with King Von saying outright on the track that he gave out 100,000 and sent his boys coming, as well as saying that somebody got left shot in public before being rushed to the hospital. With these 4 lines of rapping, Von essentially broke down the entire hit and the price he'd allegedly paid for it to happen. Von would also rap on the song Don't Miss with DQ that Duck got nailed, no hammers, as well as lyrics that seemingly refer to the funeral shooting and the killings of Modell and Doc. On the posthumously released track Shameless remix with Boss Top, Von would also rap that he's ducking no beef, and even Lil Durk would later release the song Should've Ducked, dissing FBG Duck and saying that he's smoking him. Lil Durk would take things to the next level, even joking with country music star and collaborator Morgan Wallen that he loved duck hunting. This would lead to Wallen posting duck emojis on Durk's post, and later being forced to apologise after being informed that he'd actually been tricked into dissing Lil Durk's dead ops. After FBG Duck was killed, it seemed like King Von and his team truly felt invincible. And pretty much from here until the day he died, King Von didn't seem to care who knew about the killings he was allegedly responsible for.
I know
In his
Morgan
music
got
and
pressed
on
for
social
that.
media, he would troll endlessly and hint towards him and his friends being real killers, seemingly oblivious or just not caring that the whole world was beginning to learn what he had done. In August, Von is on Instagram Live with DQ from O Block saying that there's no more FBG.
All that dissing or saying something or even acting like y'all with some that y'all know for sure ain't with, I'ma smack that on y'all. I ain't gonna play like that. Then we know y'all ain't gangsta, y'all on the internet. We know y'all ain't
not
gangsta.
little baby Tommy.
Ain't no more FB. Ain't that right, Big DQ? Ain't that right?
Von would also tweet that he knows the police have his phone tapped, and that all they'll find out is that he gives people money every day. Money for what though, Von? Von would also go on to tweet that 63rd was no more, and another saying, "You heard what they say I did, but I did worse," indicating that Von had done even more crimes that the public didn't know about. After this, we would see one famous example of King Von's crimes catching up with him in the music industry. He had actually been booked to perform at rap music festival Rolling Loud in 2020. However, the pandemic of 2020 would shut that down and see the festival unable to go ahead in person. So instead, Rolling Loud would end up hosting a digital live stream event with rappers in September of 2020. And as part of this event, King Von would be interviewed in a shocking segment where the hosts were asking him questions that had been sent in from the comments, with some bright Chiracologist submitting a question to the unsuspecting hosts, who would read it, asking Von if he would ever collab with names of people he was rumoured to have killed. With Von even being so amused by this question bringing up his old bodies, he would even go and find his trusty shooter Muwop, putting his face on camera to show the reaction to these clueless interviewers dissing their dead enemies.
They want to know if you do a feature with Modell, P5, Malcolm. You know them? Nah. Alright, never mind. He already
That
told us about
is
Tuka. He said Tuka one of his favorites to work with.
They are so lost.
They want to know about the Gleesh Place video.
Oh, Gleesh Place coming soon. And I do a feature with all of them. Don't just send them money.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we need that bag. 100 racks. 100 racks a feet.
Oh, see, they got it.
My boy charging 100 racks.
No.
I be tickets. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know.
Fuck, bro. This is bad. They're so unaware.
He'd have to scroll up. I can't even see that.
Y'all listen to the names he said want to do the feature.
We'll get a clip of it and we'll send it to you.
That is.
Alright, tell me the names. Listen to the names he said want to do a feature with.
They want to know if you'd ever do a song with Young and Ace, Jada Youngin, and K. I don't know who that K artist.
No, say the other names you said.
You gotta scroll up so I can read that. Can you do that for me? Hold on.
Oh boy.
It was. No, scroll up a little more. If you do a feature with Modell, Tyreek, P5 or Malcolm.
You gonna move up. Fuck.
Look how folks look.
That's a no,
That's
right?
So
I'm assuming that's a no.
It's just them being unaware, bro. That's what's funny about it.
I don't even. Who are those? Am I supposed to know who they are?
Man, them people is dead. You bogus. Now I'm just left. What's that? Let's go to the next question.
No, that's crazy. They had me violate like that.
Hey, you with that? Fuck 63rd. Nah, I'm just left.
The day after this, Von would tweet saying, "Who wants clout? If you diss Von, he will put you in the clouds." Possibly another reference to FBG Duck's murder, whose nickname was, of course,
That's
Clout.
bad, bro. That's bad. Yo. And he had him scroll all the way back up, waste their time, just so we could. Yo.
The day after this, Von would tweet saying, "Who wants clout? If you diss Von, he will put you in the clouds." Possibly another reference to FBG Duck's murder, whose nickname was, of course, Big Clout. A day after this, Von would take to Instagram Live, saying that he was tired of people judging him because of the YouTube videos about him.
Yeah, I think y'all know me because y'all watching YouTube and y'all listen to what these people telling y'all stupid on. Oh, yeah? Y'all listen to what the people telling y'all this shit. Them people trying to make me bad when I am. Them people trying to make me over there. It's cool, yeah. If they had to do, motherfucker, I do what they got to do. Y'all don't know me. I ain't on no super tough, no super gangster. That's just what's going on. That's what I am. That's what's going on. So I'm laughing, I'm smiling around here. Cause I'm super gangster.
This was an epic Instagram Live where Von would go in depth on a lot of things, showcasing both sides of his personality. He would say that he's really a gangster like the videos say, but that he's also smiling about it because it makes him laugh, before also reminding fans not to play with him because he really is dangerous.
I'm super gangster. I'm like that, but I ain't on that. You see what I'm saying? I'm smiling, I'm playing with y'all. But don't play with me like that. I don't play with nobody like that for real.
King Von would tell his fans that him and his O-Block homie Louis kill their ops.
King you like dick sucking ass on King Dave. Got to fucking with them niggas on King Dave, King. Don't trip. We ain't even gonna talk about that no more. I wish Louis would rah. Not as rah. Look at Louis Goop.
At this point, Von is seemingly hyped up and begins to ask the audience which ops he should talk about.
Man, who has to talk about it? I'm on the road today. I'll put my right out there today. Who to talk about? Drop a name on my.
Von goes on to say that people are just mad because he's tough and handsome, and because he knows that he did violent things to people who are in the comments on this live, with Von even going as far as to say to his viewers, if he did something to you or your family, comment below and he will pin it.
Man, you be hating. I know you be hating on me. I know you be hating because I look like this and I'm tough like I am. Ah, yeah. That shit hurt. And I did on here. I seen I did too. Yeah. That shit hurt. I got to say y'all name on it. Y'all gonna get looking. I got to comment and I'ma pin y'all if I did something to you. Let's see how far this guy. So you ain't do shit to me. My cousin maybe. Or if I did something to somebody, nah, this man. We making this street look good. Man, this street all bad on King Day. I done lost everybody on phone, you hear me? Everybody dying, everybody in jail, everybody dead up here at Lloyd.
Von was really careless during this period of his life. He really comes across as if he never thought he would get caught, or as if he simply didn't realise that the whole world was listening to him. He would continue to tweet, saying that he would be ready to drop soon, and asking fans what they want him to drop, a song or an op. Then on the 4th of October, another Instagram Live of Von would surface, showing Von getting off a plane with one of the shooters accused of killing Duck, Muwop, with Von even telling fans that Muwop has all type of bodies.
This Muwop, he crazy. He got all type of bodies. No, just playing.
No, he's playing. He love that.
Come on, Muwop. My mama, come on. My bodyguard. Come on, bodyguard.
On October the 9th, Von drops the song I Am What I Am with Fabio Foreign, rapping more lyrics seemingly referencing the murder of FBG Duck, aka Big Clout. The same day, Von would tweet, bragging to have done everything people say they did in the streets, and in Von's case, getting away with it. Then, on October the 14th, 2020, Von releases a song called Slide with another rapper called Yakiola. This song is a reinterpretation of FBG Duck's own hit song of the same name, Slide. But of course, Von would use his version of Slide to mock Duck. 2 days after that, he would tweet the word duck with a love heart and a picture of himself ducking his head down. Clearly, all of Von's brazen activities in the streets and online were indeed making him the target of an investigation, because also in October, Von is at the airport when he was seen on social media being searched by the police and getting angry about the fact that he was being targeted.
I can get your ID one more time?
You take a picture of my badge.
Now, y'all want to search me for what? I can get yours, sir? This is real quick. You took a picture of my ID, man.
You already took a picture, man. Keep it moving.
What y'all trying to search me for?
You're blocking the path for
All right.
passengers to get through, so you gotta keep it moving.
Police all on my dick. What the f wrong with these people? They come out and search my bed for some drugs, all type of shit. Hey, matter of fact, look. This took a picture of my ID, got my address and everything. This man, I don't know this man, you see what I'm saying? You can remember his face. King Dog. Ball head up. I don't know what the f going on. I got plenty of time out.
Von would share a picture of the officer who searched him to Instagram, even tagging superstar hip-hop lawyer Drew Findling, who also defended Donald Trump. But clearly, Von wasn't worried, because the same day that footage was going around, he would also tweet that he has bodies from way back, perhaps taunting those very cops who were stopping him at the airport trying to solve these murders. Around this time, King Von would also do an interview where he seemed to suggest that he was making the most of his career because he knew the cops would eventually work out what he'd done and put him away.
I'm trying to go crazy real quick, but the feds come.
What? But not one to let some meddling cops get in the way of his booming rap career. A couple of days later, Von would drop his debut studio album, Welcome to O-Block, on October the 30th, 2020, a date which coincidentally was the anniversary of T-Roy's birthday and the murder of P5. Welcome to O-Block had some bold songs, where Von would hint further at the crimes he'd allegedly committed, and ironically, the very first lyric of that album would see Von admitting that the cops are onto him. By this point, Von's lyricism was the sharpest it had ever been, and he really did have a talent for using music to communicate the dark reality behind the life that he had lived. Another line on that opening track, Armed and Dangerous, really stuck out to me, where Von raps that he has inflicted tragedies, massacres, and casualties on his ops, admitting that he did a lot of things to people that he can't remember, but he knows that they remember him. He would reminisce on October 2012 when he had allegedly killed numerous people, rapping that people were dying all of October, and that it's the real Halloween. There was also the track Demon, where Von would open up about becoming a killer after the death of his friend White White. A track featuring a lyric where he claimed to have killed 7 people, saying, "Bodies I got a few, 4 plus 3, 3 plus 2. This is a line a lot of people assumed meant 7 kills and 5 assists, or killings that he was present for. But my interpretation of this would actually be that it's Von saying that he killed 7 people personally before he became a rapper, and 5 people who were killed by his crew, either while he was allegedly present, like in the case of Lil Mark, or allegedly on his orders, like would have been the case with FBG Duck. Hell, some people would even count Dooski to King Von's body count, because after all, Von would claim that he was smoking Dooski after his death, having tweeted not long before that you can only smoke somebody if you had something to do with killing them. If you include that, that would make a full 12 bodies that King Von has been associated with over the years. Combine that with the fact that Von would end this song by boldly saying FBG Duck, then I think it becomes pretty clear that he's trying to take responsibility for this killing. Another song on the album called The Code would see King Von rapping about splitting $100,000 with his team and being goated, a line that hits different when you know that he allegedly paid $100,000 to have Duck killed and tweeting a goat emoji immediately after the murder took place. Von would only be alive for around a week following the release of this project, but recording numerous songs and freestyles that referenced his alleged murders, like King Von's Audio Mac Bless the Booth 3 style, where he straight up rapped that he had 7 bodies. On the 2nd of November, he would tweet that people want to kill him with a yawning emoji.
Let's talk bodies. I got 7. I got 7.
He had 7 bodies. On the 2nd of November, he would tweet that people want to kill him with a yawning emoji. Clearly, Von was not scared. In fact, one of the very last things that Von did was an interview with DJ Academics, and a big part of this interview was the discussion of Von's beefs. Academics would press Von about his earlier tweets, suggesting that Von had been lying about him and FBG Duck squashing their beef, with Von denying that he was lying and suggesting that somebody else had deleted their DMs.
You know you and Duck didn't make up. His mom came out. They said you and Duck.
Gang, how you gonna tell? See that this ain't right. Gang, how y'all gonna say that?
His mom said that would never happen.
His mama was not there. I ain't never met his mama. I don't know his mama. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking to him. You see what I'm saying? And then they deleted all our DMs, so I can't show him the. I don't know why they do that.
From here, a flustered King Von would try and sidestep his past beef with Duck, saying that they just went to school together.
They just make it look real crazy to y'all. These just really people we all went to school with.
Nah, that shit do look crazy to me. I kid you not.
That's how they make it. But
like, yo,
you gotta understand, like you said, they right there down the street. We went to school. Like, it ain't that serious, you know. And then, you know, it's just that we ain't cool no more. It was, you know, but it ain't that serious. Like, it's to the point where let's talk about it. It ain't. Both of us rapping, we can figure something out. We need to stop all the violence, all the shit. That shit. We got a voice.
I watched this right when it came out.
We tell Chicago far back. Tell Chicago far back.
Eventually, academics would ask Von how he felt when he heard about Duck's death, and Von would start slowly eating cereal, saying that he was hurt by Duck's death in an incredibly unconvincing manner.
Were you saddened by the news that he was murdered then?
Man, that shit hurt. I didn't go to sleep that night.
You want to smile so bad.
I can't believe that.
At a certain point, Von tells academics to hold on. He would then point the camera away from his face, and we would hear what sounds like Von and his friends laughing off camera. And before Von came back on camera, for a very brief moment, we got a glimpse of Von's friend from O Block, BJ, laughing in the background.
Hold on, man.
Got academic.
Oh, let's talk about some other shit though. Let's talk about some other shit though.
I can't help but notice the fact that Von is eating cereal whilst discussing the killing of Duck.
Well, you eat just cereal straight out of the box, no milk?
I'm a gangster.
I've said it before that I believe Von was a serial killer, but honestly, he's mentioned cereal so many times during his career, it really wouldn't surprise me if this was some kind of cryptic message that he was using to signal to fans that he saw himself as a serial killer with Duck as his latest victim. He would strangely tweet about how much he loves his cereal after a series of alleged murders in 2012, even tweeting that eating cereal is the first thing he does after shooting someone. He would promote Dirk's cereal whilst they were both on the run from the Atlanta shooting at the Varsity, telling people on Twitter to buy the cereal whilst waving a clip of a gun, and regularly posting himself on social media eating cereal. And he would also be eating cereal when he told the world that he wanted to perform at FBG Duck's funeral.
Yeah, cereal be busting, so they say King Von featuring FBG Duck. I said that's what they want to see, huh? Stop that, man. I'll perform at his funeral.
Then, when we finally saw the actual murder of FBG Duck and academics asked him about it, at that very moment, Von would decide to start eating cereal too. Maybe it's a stretch, but that day when academics called Von, he probably knew he would be asked about FBG Duck. And he made sure to have that box of cereal within arm's reach so that the whole world would see him crunching on cereal at that exact moment. Sadly for Von, soon after this interview, he would end up on the other side of the gun, getting shot himself and ultimately losing his life. But in a final twist of irony, it would turn out that despite being connected to so many murders in his home city, Von would seemingly end up losing his life in an altercation in another state, and as a result of a petty rap beef that had nothing to do with his violent past in the street. Throughout King Von's career, he was connected to a female rapper by the name of Asian Doll, with fans often speculating on whether their supposed relationship was genuine or simply a fake celebrity romance for clout. Apparently, Asian met King Von just after Lil Durk had signed to the same label as her, with the label arranging a celebrity basketball game where Durk would bring Von onto the court whilst Asian Doll was on the sidelines.
It's the first time I saw we was in just a basket. It's out here. We was in New York. I seen little booty over there in the square. Look. You know, I ain't saying that to her. She was looking decent and she was looking good. Well, I ain't saying that to her, and she was right there hooping and then they ain't had no jewelry and all that, no money like that. So I'm like, she had a big ass Gucci glasses, Gucci this and Gucci that. And we was playing basketball against Meek and me and Dirk.
Dirk had just got signed to my label, Alamo. So they're like, Asian, we having a celebrity basketball game. Do you want to do it? I'm like, hell yeah. I'll play basketball because they know I used to play basketball. So when they told me who to play, they like Meek Mill, Dirk. But so I remember Bones playing basketball. They playing, we sit on the side. He was playing so much rough. I'm like, why the f is he so rough? He was playing rough, y'all. Like, he was rough. Like, he was jumping up. He was doing all type of rough shit. He probably was trying to show out the whole time. For me, I ain't know. I'm looking at his ass like he crazy.
Apparently, King Von would see Asian Doll again in the studio and at a release party with Lil Durk, where they would flirt and eventually agree to go on a date.
But then I saw it again at the studio. She did a feature with Dirk. and I'm steady flirting with her, trying to talk to her, and she left and shit. Then I see her again. Now I'm fake drunk at the little release party for Dirk album. I see her, but I ain't know she was fake talking to somebody else right there. But I'm on her. I'm off the whatever the licking and shit. So I'm grabbing her hand, trying to talk to her. Oh.
Von just kept bothering me, and then I'm just like, bro, who is this boy? He just kept bothering me, bro, bothering me. We walking out, y'all. I don't even know this man. This man got his hand around my waist. I'm like, whoa.
Now I take Dirk's phone, I get in his DM, like talk to my brother. Ooh. And then she
DM from Dirk.
Oh man, talk to my brother. Ooh, I'm taking that DM and shit.
It's him. That's
She
hilarious.
Said, yeah.
I'm like, no. I said no a million times. No, bitch. I said no so much I got tired of saying no. I'm like, let me go on a date with you. As soon as I said okay, this man Bun called me in seconds.
She sent the number and I was saying she live in Atlanta. Now, when I go to the crib, now Dirk out of town. He left his truck in my car. He got a track car. That raw. So I got Dirk's car today. So I go pick up and I tell her I'm going to take her out. And
King Von would actually pick up Asian for their first date in Lil Durk's Jeep Trackhawk, the very same truck that they caught their attempted murder charge in Atlanta. But in the end, the date between Asian Doll and King Von was apparently a success.
You know I ain't slow. I knew the Dirk car. I ain't thinking like, oh my God, he got a car. They got 300 on it. I'm like, that's Dirk car. Because I had already seen Dirk post the car. But it was so cute because I'm like, these sticking together, that's crazy. They like, Dirk helping him out, letting him to the car for the weekend just so it can impress me.
so I got a little money. I only had I was up so I had like $600 in my shit. And a little outfit, a nice little outfit. I put that on. Took some of Dirk cologne and shit. Took his car shower and go pick up, took out to eat and shit.
So he came pick me up. He kept calling and making sure I was gonna get ready. He like, get ready. After the day you get cold. So he had his jacket on. He was trying to give me his jacket, but he was cold. So I just got under his jacket with him. And then it's like my chest touched his chest. Our hearts touched each other's hearts. Everything just connected when I hugged him after the first date. And then we went to the house.
First night.
They would make a connection and eventually make their relationship official.
Are y'all wiping up somebody that you hit on the first night?
Asian Doll would even release a song called Grandson about King Von on Valentine's Day 2019, with him appearing in the music
doing that on the first
in a
night.
March 2019 interview with
doing
Lil
with other
Durk,
people.
a shy King Von
You know
would
what I mean?
reveal publicly that he was indeed dating Asian Doll.
King Von, I'm saying he in a relationship too.
Shout out Agent Dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he go ahead.
No
Yeah.
self-respect for themselves.
You heard it here, man. Who's you? He looking at you like, come on, man.
Von would go on to drop light-hearted tweets about his super savage friends laughing at people who only knew him online as Asian Doll's boyfriend. But the two of them would indeed be an item, and she would need to deal with the baggage of dating a super savage. When Von got arrested for attempted murder, Asian would be in tears over her boyfriend's incarceration.
I've been on the plane for 20 hours. Everybody. I was crying.
I don't know you, little bro.
I miss my boyfriend, my husband, everything. But I'm better. He want me to be out here turned up, so I got all my crying out on the plane. Now I'm finna just turn up.
Von would even call Asian Doll from jail, joking that he would be beating her up when he gets home.
Free my jail. I miss him. Man, what?
Oh, that's Vaughn on the other line. Oh, I thought that was her friend. I was like, what?
I'm always talking about you.
Always.
Always.
People always talking about me. I was catching some shit like, nah, this ain't talking about me on camera.
What? So you crazy. If it was good, yeah, I'm talking about you.
I don't get no fucking bad. That's the thing. I don't know good, bad.
If it's bad, I'm on there with yours. I'm being
Talk
ass.
about me if it's bad. Don't talk about nobody else.
Nah, I'm just gonna be ass first.
He's from Tennessee. What?
I ain't got time.
Oh.
I'm already beating your ass.
You're not beating me up. We're not gonna do that.
Eventually, Von would return home and be reunited with Asian Doll, but ironically this time it would be Asian getting Von in trouble. While out on bail for that attempted murder, King Von would end up getting into a fist fight with a man in a studio who had apparently called Asian Doll a bitch, being sent back to jail for a brief period.
Somebody called my girlfriend a bitch yesterday. Tell them what happened to my hand, bro.
overbeat his ass.
And despite Von winding up in jail for it, it would appear that
Overbeat his
Asian
ass.
Doll would actually appreciate Von's protection, calling him her bodyguard on Twitter, with Von himself saying that he wishes she wasn't a rapper so that he could keep her home and protect her, saying that he doesn't trust her around other rappers.
But isn't it nice to have somebody in the same industry as you?
No, that ain't. I'd rather have. You know, I wish you. You know, I can't say I wish she wasn't a rapper, nothing like that. But it'd be better if I knew like she's at the house instead of going around all these people that ain't around and. Damn, what's going on? Now I'm just thinking, hey, damn, what the fuck she doing? Why she answering the phone?
And that's how she be
She
feeling.
feel the same
I
way.
just said that.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I wish my nigga was in the damn house.
No.
Also,
You
it's
feel what
been
I'm
times
saying?
where you didn't like a nigga and she had to work with him.
I'm not gonna say nothing because you know you gotta be.
Feel like y'all gotta
you gotta be for
business
sure with
is business,
yourself,
yeah.
man. I know I'm that. So
Von was clearly very possessive about Asian Doll, even tweeting that he would kill somebody for messing with her. With that in mind, it's no surprise that eventually it would be another rapper that would seemingly get in between Von and Asian, and that rapper would be none other than Baton Rouge gangster rap superstar NBA Youngboy. Now, King Von had a strange relationship with Youngboy over the years. King Von would be dissing NBA Youngboy all the way back in February 2019.
you f Youngboy? Why? I'm just damn. Hang up on your ass. But if like you cheat, go ahead say you f I'm gonna hang up on your ass. Don't I raise I just laugh. You f him though? He alright. He cool, right? So I can't speak on him. He ain't all that, is he though? What's up? What you trying to say? Like, I'm just trying to see what you feel about him. He cool. He's straight. He's straight. He ain't better than you. He ain't better than you. Yeah, for sure. Cause he don't be doing shit. I ain't gonna do it cause he be hating.
In March 2019, King Von would also diss Youngboy again on social media, saying that his music is full of lies.
Young boy talking about on this song, bro.
What?
He talking crazy on this man.
Oh yeah?
He ain't even like that.
Oh!
On his ass now.
On his
All that cap. You got cap in your rap.
Seen this.
You got cap in your rap.
But at other times, it seemed that Von quite admired Youngboy. He'd often play his music and even tweeted welcome home to him in August when he was freed, as well as being seen on social media copying several of Youngboy's mannerisms and quotes.
Boy, as my grandma raised me, you hear me? You know I ain't no hoe. What up?
My grandma raised me. You know I ain't no hoe.
Perhaps King Von was looking to catch Youngboy lacking rather than admiring him, because clearly both Lil Durk and King Von were feeling competitive with NBA Youngboy during this period. In October 2019, Lil Durk would reply to a DJ Academics tweet claiming that NBA Youngboy was the best street rapper since the Chicago wave, with Lil Durk suggesting that Von was a realer street rapper who could actually compete with Youngboy. In February 2020, Von would tweet indicating that Youngboy was holding on to a song featuring both of them and telling him that he should release it. It would seem that Von and Asian Doll were on good terms around this time, with Von showing off a bunch of gifts and a love letter from her just a few days after Valentine's. However, by May 2020, Von would be tweeting that he was going through a rough breakup. Then, the following month, tweeting that Asian Doll was acting crazy and trying to embarrass other women. But a few days later, Von would tweet seemingly indicating that he was back on good terms with Asian Doll. Then, the following month, Von would tweet saying that he doesn't care what a woman does if it's not his girlfriend. A few weeks after that, in August, Von would tweet saying that he takes things too far when he gets mad. And tweeting saying that people won't believe the woman that he just made a hit with. That same day, images would surface of Von spending private time with the mother of NBA Youngboy's child, a woman named Jania. And later, speculation swirled that Von and her may have even created a sex tape during their time together, after King Von tweeted that he could post a video that would make somebody stop claiming their own kids. And later, King Von's sister would also indicate.
Now, my boy DeJounte Murray. Oh my god. Who got a kid with her now? What the fuck? Shout out to Jania, she looked good though.
That she had seen a video of Jania sleeping with somebody.
I'm just saying.
DMs
That's
would
crazy.
also later circulate from somebody who was apparently with them when they met, suggesting that Von and Jania had indeed slept together, not recorded music. And Von would later rap on the song Rose Gold with PNB Rock, lyrics that seemed to suggest that somebody's baby mother was bad in bed. One of his friends, 600 Breezy, would congratulate King Von publicly for sleeping with his ops baby mother and saying Rapper K, suggesting that Von and his friends were looking to see NBA Youngboy dead. However, Jania would take to social media to deny the rumours and say that she was simply working on music with Von to make money for her son.
We walked to the table to play the little game after my studio session and I went home. That's it. Y'all trying to make stories out of nothing. I don't f that man. Like I said, I don't f with no nigga. I've been working. We have a song coming out. Y'all wasn't supposed to know, but it is what it is now. We have a song coming out.
She hasn't got no songs out.
Y'all gonna with it. Just know it's hard as I'm just trying to get my money to take care of my son. Period.
On top of that, DMs would also circulate suggesting that Von had indeed only worked on music with Jania to make Asian Doll mad. However, Asian would later come out and claim that the story wasn't true about them working on a song together, suggesting that she had actually found romantic DMs between Von and the mother of Youngboy's child.
Nah, I've seen that in them DMs. I've been seeing. None of this not a surprise. So all that songs, that dead. You on dick.
The day after those pictures of Von's rendezvous with Jania surfaced, Youngboy would post a picture with a caption saying that he's going to make sure that his son grows up and sleeps with King Von's daughter since he's trolling him with his baby mother. And what?
Like, bro, how the fuck do you think of that, bro? Like, that's what comes to your head, bro? You bringing the kids involved? Your kids involved? I don't know, bro. That's it crazy. That's when I knew shit was real, bro. Not the Jania shit and King Von shit. When I seen this, I was like, oh yeah. Shit gonna...
Son grows up and sleeps with King Von's daughter since he's trolling him with his baby mother. And while this was all going on, another Chicago Black Disciple rapper close to King Von, Lil Reese, was claiming...
Doesn't Youngboy got hella sons too? He only got like 1 daughter or 2 daughters? Out of like 9?
To beat up NBA Youngboy's artist, Quando Rondo. Quando would reply to this, saying that Reese won't do nothing. A few weeks after this, King Von would seemingly threaten Youngboy and Quando Rondo, tweeting on September the 7th, 2020, that he hopes that God has room up there for more dead people. This seemingly provoked a response from Quando Rondo's right-hand man Lil Tim the next day, who warned Von and people from Chicago about messing with Quando. And this would seemingly be followed by a response from King Von the next day, tweeting, reminding the world that he has been fighting his whole life and that he hits hard as hell. The same day that all of this is going on with Von and Jania, NBA Youngboy would drop a snippet of an unreleased song. This song later turns out to be the track Dead Trolls, and in this song, Youngboy claims, like Von, to be responsible for 7 murders, and rapping that he's going to catch someone from out of town who is chasing after a girl and kill them. Youngboy would also rap that his ops are mad because they can't get a feature from him. Perhaps a hint to a potentially uncleared collaboration between the two artists being held back by Youngboy, as one of King Von's earlier tweets seemed to suggest. Some people would later claim that this song actually predicted King Von's death, with one lyric saying that he's planning to kill someone in Atlanta after a show. But chances are, that's just a creepy coincidence. But it's no coincidence that Youngboy dropped this snippet the very day that Von was running around with the mother of his child. A day later, Von would tweet claiming not to have a girlfriend and to simply be focusing on his career. But a few days after that, Von would tease a snippet of a new song of his own, a track titled Too Real. In this song, he would rap that he's going to expose somebody and that he's going to kill somebody because of a rap beef. Then, in September, Von would jump on Instagram Live to address his ongoing beef with NBA Youngboy, saying that he's not in beefs in the music industry and that he doesn't want to beef in other states, but also saying that he will beef people for no reason if they don't like him.
Look, for everybody, I ain't a tour nobody, you hear me? Towards the people I've been had beef with in the streets, you know what I'm saying? I want to be a tour with nobody from all in another town for no reason. Like, you got to be a tour with somebody for a reason. Just know we in tour gang, okay? You see what I'm saying? I'm the type of I don't got to know why we in tour or nothing. You only got to tell me why you don't like me. Don't even tell me why you don't like me. I don't even care. Just let me know you don't like me. You see what I'm saying? Let me know. You don't like me? That's what it is. Let me know. I'm like, alright, what I'm saying, let me know. But I'm so gangster that I don't need a reason. It don't gotta be no reason. We can be into it, like, I don't care. It don't gotta be a reason, for real. I'm into it, people, it don't gotta be no reason. I don't know why. I don't care why. But it can be that, you see what I'm saying? Well, I like to know why we into it. I like that, I need to, because I ain't no goofy. I'm like, what the Then I play hard. I ain't trying to lose. I can't lose to nobody. Lose to who? Who, Lloyd? Who I'ma lose to? Tell him, you been knowing me, Lloyd. Don't I go hard at everything I do? Tell him, you came from, how you get a chain in your neck, Lloyd?
Clearly Von was still wanting to prod Youngboy, and despite tweeting that he still isn't doing relationships, in September, Von and his sister were seen in the club with Youngboy's baby mama once again.
2 days ago, Jania was spotted in the club with King Von's sister, and King Von was also there as well. You couldn't see them together, but you know they were together if you know.
With all of this going on, Asian Doll would be feeling the heat. At the start of October, Asian Doll would go on Instagram Live to address the situation with Youngboy and Von, denying that Von embarrassed her and saying that if she's single, then it's got nothing to do with her.
Nobody embarrassed me, gang. Y'all need to get off my dick with that. Like, nobody embarrassed me. Nobody. It's nothing nobody did to embarrass me. I was not embarrassed. Like, damn, y'all hoes mad about a tweet. Like, y'all, like, dude don't even know you clowns. The f y'all hoes get left for me. The f smack the shit out of one of you for me. You crazy. I don't get no f. I'm a real bitch at the end of the day. Like I said, you would never see me sweat. You would never see me go outside behind nobody. I don't give a f who you is, friend, anybody. Mind your business. When I'm single, like, that don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not stressing that shit. I'm not tweeting about nothing. They don't have to do with me, gang. Nothing. When somebody's single, so what? What they do? I don't get no f. That's what y'all problem.
Von later went live on October the 11th, 2020 with Asian Doll. Apparently their first live together since their breakup, with them appearing to be on fairly good terms. Also in October, King Von would begin tweeting to promote a new song called Mine Too, a song essentially dissing NBA Youngboy and saying that he's not going to beef about a girl because Youngboy's baby mama Jania is his too. He'd also have a lyric saying that he has beef in NOLA, or Louisiana where Youngboy is from, and saying that Youngboy is rapping like a gangster, but now he's got to show Von whether or not he really is a gangster. After this snippet released, Von would tweet saying once somebody has slept with a girl, he doesn't want her anymore, with this possibly being a hint towards Asian Doll moving on to NBA Youngboy, with it actually being rumoured that Asian had met up with Youngboy at some point during this time, with later DMs from people in NBA Youngboy's camp suggesting that Asian Doll had indeed hooked up with Youngboy before King Von passed away. And Asian Doll would seemingly admit to hooking up with Youngboy twice on her song No Expose It. Apparently Youngboy even had access to Asian Doll's phone and Instagram account during the time they had spent together, as he had reportedly messaged his producer through Asian Doll's Instagram account. And then, only days before King Von would end up losing his life, on November the 4th, 2020, Youngboy posted a snippet of a song that he made with Asian Doll, a song with the ominous title Meet the Reaper. Von would be seen listening to the snippet of this Youngboy and Asian Doll song, later tweeting that the song is trash, followed by yet another tweet alluding to there being a sex tape between him and NBA Youngboy's baby mother. Von would then say that him and Jania's song is way better than Asian Doll and NBA Youngboy's song, and saying that it has a better cover art, another hint that he might have had compromising pictures of Youngboy's baby mother. Then Von would backtrack, saying that he's just playing, and that if Asian Doll is happy, he's happy, but the song still sounds trash. Then rehashing the lyric from his song Mine Too, once again indicating that Asian Doll and Jania are his girl too. The day before he was killed, King Von was incredibly active on Twitter. He would diss NBA Youngboy, tweeting that rappers are pussy and that he's not one of them. He would warn people to approach him with caution, and he would say that his ops are acting gangster, but that's not what they're really like. Tweeting that he's not hurt, just retaliating to the disrespect he's received with no feelings involved, suggesting that what was going on was just entertainment, with Von eventually saying in another deleted tweet that he's going to lead by example because he's older than Youngboy, and saying that he's quitting the beef because many wars have started over a woman and that he's not beefing Youngboy. He would say that they're sharing the same women and that doesn't matter, and then in King Von's last recorded interview before his death with DJ Academics, he would touch upon his beef with NBA Youngboy since coming into the industry. Von would deny that this was a real beef, saying that they have the same girls and the internet has just blown it out of proportion.
You know what people told me? People told me you and Youngboy was beefing or something like that. You said something about what happened, Von? What's going on with you, man?
They be saying that a lot. It's like we got the same interests in hoes, and then you know how the internet will try to make it.
Don't tell me I got problems over girls.
No, it's the internet, gang. It's the you know, they'll try to make it like that because it's the internet. You see what I'm saying? And then you know how females will try to make it like that because they females, and they'll try to make it like one hard. They try to. It be just all type of shit. But it ain't nothing too serious, nothing you should worry about.
Unfortunately for Von, things would be very serious indeed. And the very night of that final interview, King Von himself would escalate things and get more than he bargained for. And little did he know that this feud over women would end up being the beef that would take his life.
Remember this day, bro. This is...
Barely a week after the release of his debut album, Welcome to O Block, King Von's story would come to an abrupt end. The week before his death, King Von would be reflecting on Instagram just how far he'd come, and reminding himself to enjoy these times, because he knew there would be hard times coming.
Going through this, just losing so many people, gang. I lost so many people, man, going through this.
Streets, bro.
Man, shit crazy.
Come on, bro.
But now look what...
You cannot say Lil Tim shouldn't have shot, bro. You got hella people from O Block, from Chicago. You feel me? Y'all seen the picture, bro. Muwap 3+, Kavon 7+, fucking Louis and everybody there. Like, bro, you don't know what they on. Just because they fighting don't mean shit not gonna escalate. Or they're not gonna escalate it. Tim let off the first shot. You feel me? He did what he had to do to protect his mans. Quando Rondo. Because if Quando Rondo dies, they don't have nobody. You feel me? Look at O Block now. They in shambles, bro. They got, you feel me, DQ not doing shit for real. Balls Top, like, bro, Shoebox the only good one that has like some type of potential, bro. Everybody else, you feel me, they don't got shit. So it's like, you feel me, it could have been Quando Rondo, it could have been Vaughn. Lil Tim did what he had to do.
Where we at right now, you see what I'm saying? Like times like this, you gotta take it in. I just told my homie them, y'all gotta take this in. You see what I'm saying? Looking for them.
Like, bro, you comparing us to, like, bro, that's not what happened, bro. It was real life shit that happened. Like, they dissing each other, going back and forth, fucking each other's baby moms, girlfriends, exes. Real life shit happened. Vaughn got 7+ bodies. They both in the streets. Both parties are, you feel me, people that really did shit out here. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, I don't know how many people was in Quando's entourage, but bro, seeing Vaughn run at you and then you see hella people from O Block, you know what I mean? It's like, Tim did what he had to do, bro.
I'm here with day one this shit.
Like, you getting on Tim for shooting and saying he didn't have to shoot your dick sucking.
But now look where we at right now, you see what I'm saying? Like times like this, you gotta take it in. I just told my homie them, y'all gotta take this in. You see what I'm saying? Looking for them. I'm here with day one this shit. And we in this winning, man. And we living on King Day. When we ain't dead and we ain't in jail. And we ain't broke. And we ain't, you know, life you gonna be down again. Like I'm up right now. It's gonna be times I'm gonna go through some more. I'm gonna go through some, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna think back to this time. I could always reflect on this time, like, everything was going good in my life. Everything was going. That time, everything going good right now. Like right now, everything going good. I ain't got no complaints. I ain't mad about nothing. I know I done lost a shit. I don't understand a lot of shit, but I ain't.
Oh God, bro. People just pick sides in the situation because Vaughn was the way better artist than Quando Rondo. If they would have lost Quando, Vaughn would have been smoking him, disrespecting, doing the most. You feel me? But because Vaughn was the better artist, the more talented artist, they were a fan of Vaughn more. They like to, you feel me, say Lil Tim shouldn't have did that. He took it too far. Like, come on, bro.
Sadly, the good times would end suddenly, and Vaughn would end up losing his life at the very height of his career. His album Welcome to O Block had debuted at the unlucky number 13 on the Billboard charts, ironically just one position above NBA Youngboy's album Top, that had already spent 8 weeks on the chart after going number 1. Then, just after midnight on the 5th of October 2020, Vaughn would tweet his location for the evening. He was playing a show at Atlanta club Opium. Vaughn would go live on Instagram on the way to the club, seemingly in good spirits and rapping along to his own music. He would do a live pre-show with the name of the club pinned, and he would be seen on Instagram posted up smoking hookah with his entourage of O Block natives. He would go on to play that concert at Opium, where he would be seen jamming out on stage at the club, surrounded by his team and shouting out somebody in the crowd for wearing Not From 63rd merch, as well as dissing girls who were acting stuck up at the front of the show.
Man, I see everybody in this y'all can act like y'all don't see a motherfucker, but I see a motherfucker in this bitch gang. I see you got that 63rd shirt back there, my This is love, I got get back game. Oh no, this got the get back game. I love it, I love you, gang. Hey, you know, it's all love in this tee up shit. I just dropped that on that Welcome to O Block. That going crazy. I don't want to thank everybody. You know what the going on. Stretch gang. There's a lot of bad hoes in here. I've been walking through them. Damn, it's decent shit in this. You know? Slow down. You know, we trying to party and have fun in this bitch. I ain't gonna lie. We got the little bougie. They acting bougie right here. They right here. Y'all better stop that, man. So we finna tee up. I got DJ Bands in this.
Just after 1 AM, King Von would retweet a Young and Ace lyric with a caption saying that his crew are going to catch somebody and he sees them as food. Because while King Von is performing at Opium, Quando Rondo and his entourage are fresh off recording a new music video for the song The Drop, being seen on social media showing off an array of high-powered weapons that they're holding onto. After finishing his show, King Von would be seen leaving Opium in an SUV, and interestingly, that truck can be heard playing the NBA Youngboy song My Window as it was driving away.
There'll be a lot of cars behind him. Stop playing!
Apparently Von would confuse his team by choosing not to go back to his Airbnb as his security crew initially thought. Instead, Von would take a last-minute and unexplained detour to the Monaco hookah lounge where Quando Rondo was, with King Von's manager, 100K Track, later telling DJ Vlad that his team was blindsided by the change in plan.
He went over there to the after party, and then his
I watched the one with academics, bro. That's
driver
crazy.
and his homeboy.
It just makes you think, like, was it really a coincidence that they ran into each other?
Let us know that we was redirected. We're thinking we're going to go to the Airbnb or the hotel.
At around 3:20 on November the 6th, King Von would find himself outside the Monaco hookah lounge in Atlanta. Perhaps he knew Quando Rondo would be there, or perhaps it was just a coincidence. All we know is that while there, Von approached Quando Rondo and began assaulting him with a flurry of punches, with Quando's close friend Lil Tim opening fire and striking King Von 4 times. Security footage of the fight and subsequent shooting would circulate online after the incident. What happened that night is that Von walked up to Quando Rondo and sucker punched him outside the club and proceeding to beat him up in front of a huge crowd. But after throwing a few punches, Quando's friend Lil Tim would jump out of a car and shoot King Von 4 times. Von's friends from O Block, Slutty and Louie would attempt to shoot Lil Tim, leaving him wounded but not dead. After shooting Lil Tim to the ground, they would attempt to execute him on the floor, but the gun would jam. Whilst this is going on, a wounded King Von continues to wrestle with Quando Rondo on the floor. At this point, Von's other friend Muwop would approach, punching Quando Rondo to the ground and separating him from Von. Meanwhile, after failing to...
Shout out Muwop. There was so much shit going on. I just see Muwop come out the cut, push Quando, because I think Quando was like holding Von up, like he didn't want him to die type shit. Or Muwop thought he was taking his chain. Muwop pushed Quando and then just grabbed King Von, threw him on his shoulders and shit. Shout out Muwop, man.
Punching Quando Rondo to the ground and separating him from Von. Meanwhile, after failing to execute Lil Tim, Slutty and Louie would attempt to flee the scene, without realizing that they were running directly towards undercover police officers who would open fire, believing that their lives were in danger too. The police would kill Slutty and leave Louie in critical condition. Muwop and other O-Block members would drag King Von's limp body to a waiting car and rush him to the hospital. But what's even more crazy is that Quando Rondo would take Lil Tim to the very same hospital that King Von and his team were at, with Quando Rondo even going live, showing himself trying to get Tim into the hospital and get assistance. PHF
I remember that. I remember that video. The girl was like, wrong entrance, or something like that. It was like, what do you mean wrong entrance? He shot. We need to get him in here. Like, what do you mean? That's crazy, bro.
That they would have shot him.
This was a crazy day, bro. I woke up at like, I woke up at like 9, 10 a.m. I just be waking up, like checking my phone and shit. I checked Instagram. It said Von shot. I'm like, whoa. Like, it woke me up a little bit. I'm like, okay. I'm searching through shit. They don't got much details. You feel me? They just say he shot in Atlanta outside a nightclub. They think Quando Rondo's involved. I'm like, I think it's like Say Cheese or some shit. You feel me? They was on it first. I was like, okay. And then I'm like refreshing my page a couple times, seeing if anything else come out. Go to Twitter, because Twitter be having everything. I be refreshing. Ain't nothing going on. They ain't say he died. They ain't say he made it through surgery. Nothing. I was like, okay. I fell asleep. I woke up at noon. That's when I was supposed to wake up. I woke up at noon. I'm already up. Whatever. I check my phone. They saying he dead. I'm like, that shit hurt, bro. Cause I was like, Von got shot. He didn't die on scene. I'm like, bro, built like he got muscle. I'm like, no way, he dead, bro. So that's why I went back to sleep, because I was like, oh, he's gonna be straight. You feel me? They didn't say it was 4 times. They just said he got shot. You feel me? I'm like, Von good. Like he gonna be good, because he ain't super skinny. He ain't super fat. Nothing. He gonna be straight. He did his push-ups, but I went to sleep. Woke back up at noon. I woke up right before my alarm got up. It was like 11:45. I'm checking my shit, and I turned my alarm off. I'm just scrolling. You feel me? And it was like little updates, like always going through surgery right now. And then refresh. They said he died. You feel me? Von dead at age 20s, whatever. I'm like, damn, bro, that shit sucked, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, no, like. I wasn't the biggest fan of Von, but I was like, damn, bro, like, his stories was different, bro. He was different. Nah, you talking about the one in the morgue? That shit was crazy, bro. They took a picture of his body in the morgue and shit. Like, that shit was crazy.
He didn't start recording, but ultimately, himself trying to get Tim into the hospital and get assistance. THF Bezu would later post
he
saying
didn't
that
survive,
he'd seen
Zay,
Quando at the
so.
hospital, suggesting that they would have shot him if he didn't start.
Seen bro and them at the same hospital and got scared, went live. Fake ass shit on my son. It would have been another episode at that bitch. Fuck what the media hiring these pussies.
But ultimately, King Von would be rushed into emergency surgery in critical condition after the shooting. He would ultimately die in hospital, with media all around the world waking up to the news and
and I forgot. Yo, I remember Chicago PD. They was like, hey, if you're going around Parkway Gardens, you gotta roll 2 deep. You feel me? Rapper King Von passes away in Atlanta, and they say police did it. You can't be going around there, bro. That shit was, yo. That was a crazy time. That was in the early mornings too. That was like when I woke up at like 10. That shit was crazy, bro.
Reporting on his death.
Yeah, Rick and Sean.
On God, if I see Quando around, I swear to God, my mom, I'm taking him out. Like, you don't even know Von or anything, bro. You a grown ass man, got your own politics to deal with, your own life to live, and you worried about a rapper that killed your other favorite rapper, and he didn't even do it. Go the fuck up.
According to GBI, rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued.
Believe it or not, this all playing out right in front of 2 Atlanta police officers.
One of them was actually inside his patrol car or next to his patrol car with his blue lights on.
APD responding, attempting to stop the shooting, but it was too late.
It hit like the one officer that did respond. He tried to protect himself and stop what was going on.
The investigation on this shootout will continue.
Trying to get back for something you don't know. It's crazy.
Incident. According to GBI, this is the 82nd officer-involved shooting that they've been requested to investigate in 2020.
After King Von died, some of the friends of people Von was rumoured to have killed would post on social media. Billionaire Black would post a picture of Modell McCambry, and the person who was shot with Modell the night he was killed posted a picture of FBG Duck, saying that Duck would be happy greeting Von in the afterlife. P5, aka Crack's cousin, would post on Facebook saying that he had been praying for the day that King Von would be killed, whilst other friends of Crack would post tributes.
Damn, who the fuck is that?
No longer alive. Apparently, Crack's little brother would even post saying that they caught 2 of the 3 people who were present when Crack was killed, and suggesting that they were disappointed not to be the ones who killed Von. Outside of Chicago, affiliates of NBA Youngboy like Big B would mock King Von in an Instagram story, saying that it was funny that he was the one who started the beef and dissing NBA Youngboy, and now he was the one dead.
The joke's on you, you diss, now you getting wrapped down. Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, people on Von's side would express their heartbreak at losing their main man. Asian Doll claimed to want to die when the news came out, and Lil Durk would mourn the loss of his twin. Even rap's #1 superstar Drake would post a tribute to Von after he passed. NBA Youngboy's biggest enemy, Fredo Bang, would also mourn the loss of Von too. 12 days after his final tweet, somebody would take control of King Von's Twitter account, releasing a statement thanking everybody who supported Von whilst he was alive. There would be a media frenzy around King Von's death. Funeral homes were also refusing to take King Von's body due to fears of violence at the ceremony. And when the family finally found a place that was willing to host the funeral for Chicago's most famous killer, they were forced to have it at 1 day's notice. Eventually, Von would get the peaceful burial his family had hoped for, with Von being laid to rest in Chicago on November the 14th, 2020, with pictures of Von's funeral program and casket being posted on social.
That's the one thing that's different. Like, motherfuckers is so scared to host his body and have, like, a funeral because that shit gonna get shot up. I'm surprised, like, New York don't be catching up on that, bro. Like, motherfuckers is getting, like, ridden out through Sugar Hill and shit. I'm like, bro, that shit seem like dangerous. Y'all just riding out with fucking Ida all through Sugar Hill, showing where he's getting buried at. Like, I feel like that should be more dangerous, bro.
Social media. But being such a divisive
New York
figure
ain't like that.
In Chicago gang politics, Von's enemies continue to disrespect his gravesite to this very day. Naturally, Von's death sparked a strong response from many of his supporters.
Kicking candles.
600 Breezy claimed to be headed to NBA Youngboy's hood
goofy
at 150
as hell.
miles an hour with the steppers. BJ, who was also shot the night that King Von was killed, would also post saying that their ops are cursed now that O Block is after them. Meanwhile, NBA Youngboy affiliate Michi replied and said that people only really slide in silence.
Right there all day, nigga, going on hell, scary, nigga, doing all that capping, get on that, all that shit, man, real don't speak. Hey, if you go do something, man, do something. You don't come to no city and annihilate you in the city, man. You was supposed to slab out that, man.
Von was eventually memorialized in his native O Block with a painting that became a tourist spot. This mural became a pilgrimage for both die-hard fans who wanted to show their love and death-defying ops who wanted to show that they're not scared
They
to come
could
to
use a better
O-Block,
picture.
with longtime rival FBG Cash posting up at the mural with a disrespectful
Damn.
caption towards Von, with Cash himself ending up being killed
Rest in
only
peace.
months later. Once a few months passed from Von's death, his self-proclaimed twin Lil Durk would dedicate his next album, The Voice, to King Von, releasing it on December the 24th, 2020, with a front cover that depicted Durk and Von together. And eventually, Quando Rondo would break his silence about his involvement in the incident that claimed King Von's life. On the 20th of November 2020, Quando Rondo releases the song End of Story, a song that's title
Crazy.
is a disrespectful play on Von's most popular song, Crazy Story. And in the song, Quando touches on the incident that ended up taking King Von's life, expressing frustration about being judged and saying that other people's friends wouldn't have defended him like Lil Tim did, as well as essentially dissing King Von and his friends, saying, "Blood on your brother on the ground, go pick your mans up," as well as rapping that him and Tim are claiming self-defense and that Von should have never put his hands on Quando.
Quando
He would
makes
also
fire
claim
music.
that this situation led to $1 million bounty being put on his head. And following the release of this song, he would also elaborate further on the events that unfolded
Out-of-body
that night
experience.
in an extended interview with Angela Yee.
I ain't gonna lie, I watch this shit, bro. This shit just pissed me off, bro. Like he just don't know how to
Speaking on the
articulate
situation, saying that the night
bro,
that
or
Von was
explain
killed,
himself.
he thought he was just letting a group of random people
That shit
walk
was pissing
past
me off.
before being suddenly sucker punched by Von.
Like, I'm thinking it's some regular individual. Next thing you know, a nigga hit me.
Quando would say that the entire
Hit
incident
me.
felt like an out-of-body experience to him.
It's like I had an out-of-body experience.
Quando would also claim that the moment that King Von came over and started to fight with
Sound
him,
like one,
he
man.
felt like the devil was coming to get him.
Like, it's like the devil was coming to get me. Like,
Quando explained to
That
Angela
is
Yee that
crazy.
Lil Tim was his day one homie and he would protect him from anything.
one thing about it, he gonna protect me with anything, which anybody should do.
Apparently, while the gunshots were going off, Quando
Anybody.
says that he prayed, unaware of what was going on and only coming to his senses after both Von and Tim had been shot.
On some out loud screaming jive, like out of body experience. It's like everything went back normal and I've been back down.
Quando was adamant that he didn't even know that it was King Von that he'd been fighting until the next day.
I didn't know this
That's
was
cap.
him. Ma'am, I swear to God,
Nah.
my soul, man.
I don't know. Maybe he is, but like when he was holding King Von in his hands and shit, and then Muwap pushed him off, like you didn't know that was King Von. Like maybe when you hit him and like you were fighting, whatever, but you was like, it looked like he was looking at him, like looking at him, trying to make sure he didn't die and shit. I don't know, bro. And then Muwap pushed him, but
I am like, ma'am.
Quando would also say that he didn't know about the beef between Youngboy's camp and King Von's camp when this all went down.
Cause I know dude just dropped the tape. Like, was they trying to do something to me? Just boost him up or like, what? I don't know.
You just don't know where. You just don't know where it came from. You have no idea.
However, unfortunately for Quando Rondo, there would be more tragedies headed his way.
Zay, bro, you dick sucking right now. Zay, I don't care.
Personally,
Come on,
following the death of Von.
Like, you
In
going
the
on
aftermath,
bad.
Quando Rondo and his team would be a frequent target of what appeared to
That
be
shit's sad.
revenge attacks. He would be targeted in a shooting at a convenience store in Georgia on the 2nd of May 2021, luckily escaping without injury. But in the next incident, Quando would be less lucky. On August the 20th, 2022, Quando Rondo and his entourage would be targeted in a shooting in Los Angeles, an incident which left his
I mean,
close friend Lil
shit,
Pab
man.
dead and a devastated Quando Rondo
That
being
KJ
recorded
level.
at the scene in the immediate aftermath.
Bro, this man Zay says he's really Jeezy 800. Like, bro, he be saying the craziest shit.
King Von's life was one of extremes. He grew up in extreme poverty with a major disadvantage. He found himself being drugged into the extremely violent streets of Chicago, and he ended up being allegedly one of the most violent killers in O-Block's history. By the time he died, he had been connected to at least 11 murders.
Damn. King Doc, Dirty Rel, Modell, P5, Lil James, Lil Mark, Malcolm Stuckey, K.I., Man, FBG Duck. So wait, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Duck obviously not. Tariq, no. Who's the other person he didn't kill? Or he didn't kill any of these people, but I'm just saying allegedly, like, who was it? It was Modell, P5. Oh, it was Lil Mark. He wasn't there. He didn't do anything, but like I think it was Lil Mark too. So it was King Doc, these 5, and then Malcolm Stuckey and K.I. Oh, Boss Trail. Who? Dirty Rail. Okay, so King 4/28/12 10. Damn. Back to back? 2 weeks apart? Okay. Damn. Next month? Nah, he was wildin'. 4. And then 2014. Back to back months. Wait. He did this shit in 2018? Oh. Oh, Boss Trail? Wait, so y'all got me confused. So it's these 5 and then Stucky and KI, right? And then he was paying people to kill Duck and HK. And he was there for Lil Mark, allegedly. So it's these 5, Stucky and KI. Alright. Damn.
That I've read about. But ultimately, we'll probably never know the full extent of Von's activities in the streets. There's no doubt that Von was a prolific gangbanger and shooter, but having spent so much time analysing him and the things that he did in his life, it's hard to ignore the pleasure and pride that he seemed to get, not just from killing, but being known as a killer. An everyday gang member or even mob hitman tends to kill for survival or money. But for Von, reading all of his tweets and lyrics, it's clear that he derived a great deal of psychological pleasure from the killings that he was associated with. It seemed like he was more satisfied by carrying out a hit in the streets than making a hit record. And perhaps that's why, when he got rich and famous as a rapper, he couldn't leave that in the past. Because he wasn't killing to survive, he was killing for fun, and gaining satisfaction from the whole world knowing what he had done. There was no reason for Von to take so much pleasure in the murder of Can't Get Right, and there really was no reason for Von to put a $100,000 bounty on FBG Duck's head. Von would have been a millionaire by this point, and FBG Duck was also a successful rapper in his own right. Duck wasn't a threat to the survival of Von or any of his friends at this point. No, to Von, Duck was just another trophy, another body on his tally, another score on the board. Sadly, many people look up to King Von for what he did in the streets, but I don't think that's much different from how other serial killers seem to get idolised. Someone like Jeffrey Dahmer was known for targeting black gay men in his community, partly due to the fact that he knew he could get away with it. And when it comes to killing black gay men, other serial killers seem to get idolised, someone like he did in the streets, but I don't think that's much different from how other serial killers seem to get idolised. Someone like Jeffrey Dahmer was known for targeting black gay men in his community, partly due to the fact that he knew he could get away with it. And when it comes to King Von's alleged victims, it seems like he had a type too. Young black men and women from the same poor and overpopulated area he was from. Because, perhaps like Jeffrey Dahmer, Von knew that the cops simply didn't care enough to solve these crimes, so he knew he would get away with it. And he did get away with it. For his entire life. Von would beat every murder investigation that his name was ever placed in. But if he was alive today, he very well may have been facing a life in prison for his role in the killing of FBG Duck. Von gave the world a lot of great music that told one of the most unique and raw stories to have ever come out of the Chicago drill scene. Von will definitely be remembered as one of the biggest and best rappers to ever emerge out of the city. He made great music, but also did terrible things. And so realistically, he'll probably also be remembered as rap's very first serial killer.
Damn. Man, I ain't do none of that, man. He was a good guy. Likeable, too. This documentary deserves an award ripped to all the lives lost. Nah, for real, it do. Don't they got YouTube awards? Is 7 Bodies a serial killer? Yeah. I think the term serial killer is like 3 bodies, three bodies and people that look the same or something like that, like a type. $10K comments. Damn, it don't even got that much hate either. 50K likes, 700 dislikes. That's a crazy good ratio for how controversial this shit was. How we get away with this for so long without being arrested or shot? Yeah, he never been shot before. It's actually pretty crazy with how he basically was very public with his killings. Tell me how I've never listened to a single Key Von song yet. I've watched this entire thing. Well done, sir. Damn. What the fuck? Never mind. Hilarious how the media treats KI like she's a wonderful young girl that was gunned down for no reason. She was a murderer her damn self. Oh, that's a good video. Folks would dislike everything on YouTube. Nah, I'm saying, but like I thought it would get more dislikes. That's what I'm saying. No, I know it's gonna get dislikes regardless. I'm just saying, I thought I'd have more. This shit was controversial. Damn, the original video was deleted at 700K, bro. What? So it's probably be at like 1.7, 1.8. Cause I'm guessing the same I'm guessing no one sat here for 3.5 hours and watched the whole thing. So people probably coming back and finishing it. So his views didn't go down that much.